Under the gentle sunlight spreading across the beach, a stunning blonde beauty lifted a juicy piece of watermelon and gently brought it to Tran Thu. Sir, a black-haired girl with a sweet voice like honey said, "Tran Thu, I have a request, may I? Please answer me." Tran Thu was overjoyed, his eyes squinting with delight, saying, "Go ahead, say it, what should I answer?" Suddenly, the gloomy face of teacher Lee Nam Song appeared like a ghost, his voice cold as ice. "How do you want to die?" Tran Thu was startled awake, his face drained of color. Old Lee teacher Lee coldly shouted, "Are you awake now?" "If you're awake," read the history introduction of the Beastmaster. Tran Thu felt itchy and uncomfortable, his head spinning. What Beastmaster? He looked around the classroom in confusion. Where is this? A high-tech exhibition. Huh? Did I go to the wrong class? Where is Trung Dai Look? My desk mate. This situation seems off. I need to get out of here. He mumbled, "Teacher Lee, this question is precious. Let the whole class answer it. Excuse me for not disturbing anymore." Ha! Before he could turn and run, teacher Lee Nam Song quickly grabbed his collar and pulled him back. "Where do you think you're going?" Trung Dai Look is no longer my desk mate. I am now a member of the Beast Master class. From below, whispers of discussion rose like waves. Falling asleep on the first day of class transfer truly useless. It said that his contract spirit is only talent level F. Really nothing special. I wonder what the class president was thinking when they chose someone like this, Tran Thu muttered angrily. What are you all babbling about? Damn it, what is happening here? Suddenly, a properties panel flashed before his eyes, almost making his heart jump out of his chest. 1. System activation choice. 1. Remain silent, bow your head, and do not respond. Reward a bit of Beastmaster power. 2. Spread your hands and sincerely say, I originally wanted to use my academic identity to befriend everyone, but instead I received only alienation. I have failed. I am just an ignorant fool knowing nothing. The reward is just a notice of expulsion from Kim T High School Branch 2 in Namjong City. Dad agreed to Habong's help. The reward is a low-level fire flame potion. Tran Thu was dazed, his hands tapping the air as if he were in a daze. When did the school start installing such dark modern technology? But in Teacher Lee's eyes, he was no different from a crazy person pointing around looking foolish and dazed. So what are you flailing your arms about in the air for? Don't forget who cried to get into the Beastmaster class yesterday. If you can't answer about the regular class, just see how disappointed your parents will be. Suddenly, Tran Thu caught Ha Bang's gaze. She was subtly pointing to her notebook as if to signal that she was Ha Bang. He thought to himself, feeling a surge of gratitude. Although they were not yet acquainted, this kindness would be remembered. Without hesitation, he glanced at the book and read aloud in a booming voice, "In the 5th year of the restoration in the territory of China, the first multidimensional space appeared, releasing countless ferocious dark monsters." At that moment, the Beastmasters, with their contracted spirits, were awakened. The more he read, the more confused his mind became. What the heck is this? Isn't this the 21st century? What kind of world is this? He was dazed, as if lost in a dream. Teacher Lai Nam stood there with a dark expression at a loss for words. Do you think I'm blind? Go back to your seat and don't even think about sitting here again next time. Tran Thu understood, dragging his feet back to his seat, his mind in a tangle. Did I time travel? A parallel world? Isn't Lao Lai a math teacher? When did I ask to change classes yesterday? Just then, a notification sound echoed in his mind, announcing that the reward had been issued. He turned to his friend beside him, whispering, "Did everyone hear that?" Suddenly, a small vial appeared in his hand, sparkling strangely. Tran Thu's mouth dropped open, his eyes shining brightly. Could it be the protagonist system only found in cartoons? He was so excited that he slumped over the table, laughing quietly to the point where his shoulders shook. Cough, 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 ha ha ha, I'm the protagonist. When the bell for break rang, Tran Thu sluggishly stood up, his stomach growling. Finally, he could eat. He had to find Dai Luk to ask about the situation in this bizarre world. Once outside, he was overwhelmed by the noise. What is this? Outside, the arguing was incessant. Yes, Vungman, are you okay? Don't bully people too much. Quickly take him to the medical room. Trindick and his gang stood there looking smug. Little Vung, you've lost to me 3 times in a row. This class leader of the 5th grade can't do anything to me. Right, don't forget to bring the beast orb for me this afternoon. Just as Trindick's group was about to leave, a cold voice rang out, "Stop." All confused eyes turned to Tran Thu. His face paled, and he quickly waved his hands in defense. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. The one who spoke was Habang. She had stepped forward, her presence as fierce as a storm. Habang looked straight at the bullies, her voice full of challenge. What's the point of always using this trick? If you have the guts, fight me. Trin Dick's eyes lit up, a sinister smile spreading across his face. Oh, isn't this Habang, the class representative of the 5th grade? Are you afraid that one beast orb isn't enough for me, so you want to give me another one? Habang replied coldly, her gaze sharp as a knife. Come at me. Everyone around stared in shock at the declaration of war. What Habang boldly challenged to fight in the auditorium alone. I'll take on all of you 3rd graders. If I win, return double the beast orb that Vung Man lost earlier. Hearing this, Tran Thu's blood boiled and he shouted excitedly, You want to fight, right? This is my specialty. But the crowd around laughed disdainfully. Is this kid who just moved in? No wonder he's the class fool. The 5th grade is getting worse. Anything can be stuffed in. Someone who has never used a spirit contract dares to speak up. Teased Tran Thu bit her lip, her face flushed. The crowd continued to tease, this guy is really a fool. He turned back, his eyes fierce enough to startle everyone. You're really turning back. Let's go see the fight. Tran Thu paused, her eyes following the group that was dragging away. Fighting with spirit contracts. Since stepping into this place, that phrase kept echoing. He smirked, a cunning smile fleeting across his face. That kid laughs too evenly. With years of experience making mistakes, I know for sure nothing good will come of it. He rubbed his chin and muttered, Thu, I don't like owing others. Soon the whole group had gathered at the battle hall. Trindick and his 3rd grade friends stood there arrogantly. He proudly declared, Habang, I admit your strength is very strong, but I didn't expect you to be this foolish. You challenged our whole class. I'm taking your beast orb first. Habang stood there, her expression completely unmoved, cutting the nonsense. From her hands a chill radiated like frost. In the blink of an eye, a majestic spirit contract appeared. Habang, level 5,000 Beastmaster with a level 5 Ice Wolf. The crowd in the stands was astonished, jaws nearly dropping to the ground. A level 5 Beastmaster Spirit Wolf Treasure 1. Trindick gritted his teeth, his eyes flashing with jealousy. No need to panic, a higher level doesn't help much. More than 20 people took turns to crush it. Even though he was just a level 4 Beastmaster, Trindish still confidently gave orders. His friends immediately summoned their spirit contracts. Level 3, Violent Monkey, level 4, Skull Warrior, level 2, Green Wall Worm, level 3, Scorpion, level 3, Mud Monster. With a shout, the whole pack of spirits charged. Habang's Ice Wolf only let out a roar. Its powerful paws immediately sent the tiny green wall worm rolling dead. Its owner fell to the ground crying, My green wall worm. Trindick quickly shouted, Don't panic. Everyone switch to automatic mode. Switch to control state. The spirits immediately surrounded the Ice Wolf tightly from all sides. Trindick was surrounded. The Ice Wolf jumped agilely, dodging the heavy punch of the Violent Monkey, but unexpectedly a slippery sensation clung to its feet. The Mud Monster had caught it. Trindick laughed triumphantly. Heh heh. Habang just slightly smirked, letting out a scoff. Yeah. Immediately, the Ice Wolf emitted a bone-chilling aura. The mud clinging to its feet froze instantly and shattered into pieces. At that moment, a fire lizard charged in, but clumsily bumped into its teammate, causing the whole group to tumble. The crowd in the stands burst into laughter. Ha, so stupid. Tran Thu watched attentively, secretly thinking, do I have a spirit contract? How do I summon it? A person next to him looked at him with a puzzled expression. Did you not see it from the beginning? It has always been there. That person pointed down at the Slim lying flat and gasping for breath under the chair. Tran Thu was startled. Oh, a guy sitting above smirked thinking of it, and it immediately popped out. Indeed, a common class item, a spirit contract so weak even in outer space, a Beastmaster wouldn't feel threatened at all. Tran Thu stared blankly at the yellow Slim in his hand, his head spinning. Is this my spirit contract? The system suddenly displayed information. Yellow Slim Spirit Contract Comprehensive Attributes Species Life Form Special Type Sleep Talent can sleep deeply for a long time. Enhanced Defensive Power. Giantification Skill. Crazy Collision Charge. Forward damage depends on the weight of both sides. Note not to use when the opponent weighs more than 10 kg. F-level potential host. Tran Thu, level 1 Beastmaster. Normal Beastmastering talent. He gazed at the dumb-looking Slim, sweat pouring out like a shower. Why does it look so stupid? S-level potential, a decorative item. It doesn't even have the qualifications for combat. He sighed and muttered, "Aren't we supposed to be the main characters? Shouldn't it at least be a divine beast or divine dragon or something?" Just then, the system rang out again, presenting a new mission. Choice 1. Shout loudly in the Vu Habang auditorium. Reward increases 1 point of obedience for the yellow slim. Choice 2. Raise both hands and shout, "Don't hit anymore. Everyone stop hitting." Reward a bag of food for the spirit contract. Choice 3. Take advantage of no one paying attention ambush. Trin Dick beat him up. Reward a large amount of beast mastery power. With his mischievous nature, Tran Thu smirked a cunning smile, flashing, "Ambush, huh? That suits my taste." Below the arena, the battle was as tense as a drawn bowstring. The Ice Wolf was being attacked by a scorpion and a skeleton warrior from both sides. The skeleton warrior swung his sword and struck the Ice Wolf's thigh, then continued to slash down like rain. Habang gritted his teeth, his fiery gaze transmitted willpower to the spirit. Trin Dick stood aside leisurely and smugly observing. Suddenly, a mysterious hand reached closely to him. Tran Thu quickly covered Trin Dick's mouth tightly. He slyly smiled and pulled him, whispering, "Come here, you." Tran Thu dragged Trin Dick to a secluded corner. Without saying a word, he kicked straight into his back. Trin Dick fell over. He quickly grabbed a burlap sack to cover Trin Dick's head and dragged him into the bathroom like pulling a beast. Trin Dick panicked and screamed, "Who are you to go inside?" Not giving him a chance to regain his composure, Tran Thu continuously punched and kicked. Trin Dick cried out in pain, "Do you know who I am?" Ouch. Tran Thu kicked even harder, sneering, "Who are you? What does it have to do with me?" He twisted his wrist with a flamboyant tone. "Remember my name well. I won't change it, and I won't change my family name, Jiang Hu Nan Jiang, nickname Dai Luk." Meanwhile, on the arena floor, the Ice Wolf clutched the sword of the Skull Warrior, suddenly realizing the opponent was exhausted. Habang immediately seized the opportunity, her gaze icy. Good chance, the extreme cold territory dealt with all of them at once. The Ice Wolf stood in the middle of the siege, howling loudly, a terrifying cold air spreading out, freezing the entire opposing spirit in an instant. The crowd in the stands erupted in excitement. "Oh yeah! Habang 5th grade beast Tamer wins. Yeah, we won!" A few members of the Zheng Yi faction shouted in dissatisfaction, "How could he be killed like that? Seriously, do you guys even know how to play Where's Zheng Yi?" At the most crucial moment, he lost focus. Just then, a figure of a scammer rushed out, his head still covered with a burlap sack. Zheng Yi cried out miserably, "Help, someone ambushed me!" The crowd panicked and scattered as they saw him with the fertilizer sack over his head. A mutated contract spirit run quickly report to the Spirit Control Bureau. The fertilizer sack has turned into a spirit. Some even rushed in to beat Zheng Yi, even though he was exhausted, pleading, "Please don't hit me. It's me, Zheng Yi." After that, Tran Thu stood with his arms crossed, pleased to watch, secretly thinking, "Mission accomplished, reward sent." A curious person asked Tran Thu, "Where are you going?" When he replied with a faint smile, "Just going to the restroom to relieve some stress." Zheng Yi, with a swollen face, lay flat on the ground, still shouting, "It must be someone from the 5th grade Beast Tamer class. You guys won't get away with this." Tran Thu stepped forward, smirking, gripping his hand tightly with a mocking tone. "Don't spit blood, okay? Everyone in my 5th grade Beast Tamer class is upright and honest. How could we do something unethical like that?" Zheng Yi was at a loss for words, unable to respond. Tran Thu didn't hesitate, tightening his grip and twisting one of Zheng Yi's fingers. Zheng Yi was in so much pain that his face contorted. Tran Thu, with enthusiasm, said, "Don't worry, Zheng Yi, I will personally investigate. With Tran Thu's reputation, I will definitely give you a satisfactory result." He lifted the new slim gold in his hand, shaking his head. "Cutting off tongues so pitiful it's time to go home." Tran Thu took it home while pondering. The contract spirit must reach level 3 to qualify for battle. He's only a level 2 beast tamer. The road ahead is still long. Huh. Are you leveling up too? So the level of the contract spirit is synchronized with the beast tamer's level. He was mumbling to Slim Gold when Ha Bang suddenly appeared. Tran Thu was startled and turned back. This was sent by her, a sparkling gem. "Today, if you hadn't made a move, I wouldn't have won so easily. This beast tamer pearl is for you." Tran Thu scratched his head, laughing awkwardly. "Make a move? What move? I don't know anything." Ha-Bang helplessly looked at the fertilizer sack sticking out from his backpack. I already saw the urea sack you hid in there. She worriedly said, the battle between beast Tamers is extremely dangerous. You really have no awareness at all. Doing this will get you hurt. It. Tranthu laughed loudly, turned around, and ran away immediately. Ha-ha, what's the big deal? Thu-thu, what I like the most is ambush. Ha-Bang was surprised, but in the end she just stood there with her arms crossed, watching. Tranthu was riding a bike while staring at his phone. No way could he fly out. In the world of well-behaved young beasts, please don't use your phone while riding. He happily texted his friend to brag about his achievements. So I dragged that kid Trin Dick into the restroom and beat him up badly. Brother awesome, just normal. Suddenly, the sound of a scuffle made Tranthu stop his bike. A woman was screaming loudly in the street. Someone there's a robbery! The two guys were pulling at her bag but couldn't break it. Big brother, this woman's strength is really strong. Let go of me, who wants to rob a bag from her. The fat woman shouted even louder, her voice booming like thunder. You guys, even if you take my body, you'll never get my heart. Tranthu stood frozen, dazed. What robbery or rape? Just then the system chimed in with a new mission. Option 1, leave quickly, reward a bit of beast-taming power. Option 2, fearless of the bad guys, bravely charge in to take down the two thugs. Reward a large amount of beast-taming power with the risk of life-threatening danger. Option 3, stop the gangsters, reward knowledge of how to refine a large amount of medicinal herbs. Unlock beginner alchemy skill. Tranthu smirked, a mischievous smile igniting his excitement. Here's my chance. While the two thugs were struggling with the fat woman, he suddenly shouted, Stop! Tranthu began to act, his tone exaggerated. In broad daylight, you dare to commit a crime in front of so many people. I Trungdai look will never forgive you. The two thugs looked at Tranthu's crazy appearance, stunned, as if glued, standing still. Taking the opportunity, the woman hurriedly escaped. When they realized she had slipped away, both were bewildered. And the two stood in the middle of the street, yelling angrily, You brat, next time I see you, I'll smash your face. Remember that for me. After that, Tranthu happily pedaled away, feeling satisfied when the system announced the reward had been sent. The beginner alchemy skill space has been unlocked. Hearing about the medicinal herbs, he curiously mumbled, What are medicinal herbs, Dad? When he got home, Tranthu called out loudly, I'm back. His mother smiled brightly. Back already. Hurry and wash your hands and eat. He glanced at his dad, sitting on the sofa, breathing a sigh of relief. Still okay, still okay. Mom and Dad are still the familiar parents. In his private room, Tranthu excitedly pulled out the items he collected today, examining each one closely. This system is really stingy, only giving low-level potions. He held the fire flame potion and muttered, This must be for drinking. Saying that, he poured the potion into a cup and brought it to the dining table. While eating, Tranthu curiously asked, Mom and Dad, are you both beast tamers too? His dad frowned in confusion. Nonsense, I'm working at a beast tamer unit here. Suddenly his dad exclaimed, as if remembering something interesting, excitedly pulling a shining red fire flame potion from his bag. That's right, this month I achieved outstanding results. This is a reward from the company. Look, a low-level fire flame potion. Tranthu, who had just finished the cup of potion, was stunned, mouth agape. Oh, isn't that what I just drank? He nervously scratched his face and cautiously asked, Is this type of potion very valuable? His dad happily tapped the box, his voice full of pride, of course. The fire flame potion can permanently increase the fire attribute of the contracted spirit. A bottle like this is worth several thousand yuan. Tranthu jumped at the mention of the price. Is it that expensive? His dad nodded. Each potion is crafted with the alchemist's utmost effort. The observation time for the transformation to refine it has a high failure rate, which is why it is so precious. His mom sighed in regret. It's a pity that the contracted spirit of the young lady isn't of the fire attribute. It would be better to sell it and buy some supplies. Tranthu's dad nervously stammered. So what happens to the person who drinks it? His dad pondered with a frown. Who would drink it? Drinking it would surely lead to severe illness. Tranthu quietly took the cup of potion back to his room, heart aching. A few thousand yuan wasted in just a few sips. He held his head in regret, nearly wanting to cry. The next morning, Tranthu lay sprawled on the bed, lazily studying the system. He examined the list of potions that had not been unlocked: poison fire, cannon, ice, poison, and explosive poison. All of them are still locked. He curiously clicked on the great strength poison, and the information appeared: permanently increase the strength of the contracted spirit. Great strength potion control level ability. Crafting requires less than 30% of the necessary materials, but the system announced that the current materials are insufficient and cannot be crafted. He read further, noting that each successful crafting would increase the level of ability divided into beginner control and grand master, with each level providing different effects. He stroked his chin, pondering. Other materials are easy to find, but the main ingredient, great strength flower, seems only to exist in the otherworldly space. Suddenly, the phone lit up brightly. A message appeared. Black Steel Wisdom, the lone wolf wants to have a match with you. Do you agree? Trantu smirked, his eyes sparkling with excitement. This kid came at just the right time. He quickly replied, Zhang Dali, perfect timing. Do you know where to buy great strength flowers? Trantu. Zhang Dali curiously replied, Why are you weak? Trantu immediately retorted, I can carry a person on my shoulder. My hands can lift a horse. Stop saying nonsense and ruining our brotherhood. Does my dad need great strength like he just realized? So it was you, but the Dailuk flower can only be bought with a pharmacist's license, otherwise you have to search in the black market. All right then. Trantu nodded vigorously. Okay. Then let's meet after school tomorrow. Trong Dailuk immediately responded. Okay. To protect the dignity of middle-aged people, Trantu sweetly added, That's right, lend me some money. Dailuk immediately turned hostile. Hello, friend, I'm not online right now. You can leave a message in Tranthu's world. The potion making has a history of over 100 years, but due to the unstable and random nature of the ingredients, the refining process is extremely complex and delicate. Products from the otherworldly space remain a mystery to scholars, unable to be mass-produced. As long as the appropriate material code is scanned, his system will perform a perfect refining process, far surpassing that of a senior pharmacist. A senior pharmacist can earn hundreds of thousands a year, while a noble pharmacist achieves a status and income that ordinary people can only dream of. Trantu was overjoyed, daydreaming about becoming rich. Hey, with money, I will refine a bunch of potions for Slim, then hey. The next day at the entrance of the black market, Trantu and Truong Dailuk were stopped by a blonde guy in a suit who coldly declared, Sorry, without a level 5 beast Tamer to lead you in, you can't enter. The two looked pale, and Trantu quickly forced a flattering smile. Come on, just let us in. We should leave a way back to meet again later. Get lost, the guard coldly shouted. Get lost. Trantu helplessly pulled Truong Dailuk's hand, and they left quietly. All right. Dailuk wearily sat down and muttered, Tran B, it seems we can't get in. Next time I'll ask my dad to take you. Just then Trantu spotted a girl with pink hair in the distance. Her eyes sparkling, and immediately thought, Kesach Dailuk, I know how to get into the black market now. He hurriedly dragged his friend to chase after the girl, calling out loudly, Sister Tiovu. She is Tiovu, an extraordinary academic genius, always at the top of the school's rankings for many years. The two eagerly approached to greet, Sister Tiovu, I'm Trantu from the Beast Tamer class, and this is Truong Dailuk. Hello, Tiovu, she replied casually. What do you want to see me for? Trantu immediately pretended to be pitiful, his eyes sparkling. Senior, we want to go to the black market to stroll around, but can't get in. If you go, could you take us with you? Tiovu nodded slightly. Okay. She led both of them back to the entrance of the black market. Trantu even winked and smiled at the guard, making him grit his teeth in anger. Yes, Tiovu gently said, I have things to do, so I'll go ahead. You guys can explore on your own. Trantu cheerfully replied, Okay, Sister Tiovu. Inside, the black market was bustling like a fair. The sound of trading echoed everywhere. Selling Dragon King beast eggs here, high-level Beast Tamer, a potion that helps spirit contracts evolve into golden divine beasts. Hot news today. Buy over 50,000 Huaxia coins and you'll get my autograph. First come, first served. Trantu quickly spotted a flower stall. Dailuk hurriedly approached to ask, Boss, how much is this Dailuk flower? The boss replied, 5,000. Suddenly, Trindick jumped out from nowhere, smugly saying, I'll pay 10,000, this flower is mine now. He turned to Trantu, his face grim. How dare you ambush me, I won't let you off the hook. Want the Dailuk flower? Wait until the next life. Tranthu bit his lip, thinking, how does he know I did it? He was still confused. Trungdai looked next to him, whispered excitedly, I told everyone that it was you who did it. I helped you get famous. No need to thank me. Tranthu felt itchy, glaring at his foolish friend, wanting to scream, You're such a traitor! A sudden announcement for a new mission rang out. Option 1, compete with Trindich right here, mock him for being weak and unable to do anything. Reward average amount of beast mastery power. Option 2. Lots of Diluc flowers for Trin. Dick to give up buying the slim size reward gold increases by 10%. Option 3. Encourage Trindick to treat money like trash by fake Diluc flowers made from dye at an outrageous price. Reward intermediate wind attribute potion. Tranthu smirked, a cunning smile flashed. So the Diluc flower is fake. He thought, as a man of virtue and conscience, I choose option 3. He immediately got into character. Boss, I'll bid 20,000. Then turned to Trindich provocatively. I must get this Diluc flower today, no matter the price. Trindick was taken aback, glaring, yanking the flower towards himself. Is that so? You dare to try with me here, you won't get it. Both sides gritted their teeth and dived into a price war. The shop owner was sweating, eyes bright as the price soared. 30,000, 35,000, 40,000, 45,000, 50,000. All right. Hearing 50,000, Tranthu suddenly clapped his hands, scoffing, Fine, I concede. You're really determined. Your Uncle Tran acknowledges you. He pulled Trungdai look away, not forgetting to throw a comment back. By the way, Class President Trin, next time you need dye, just come to me, special price. Trindick, feeling uneasy holding the flower he just bought, thought, Why does this feel off? Tranthu Trungdai looked curiously asked, Tren, are you just giving the Diluc flower to Trindick? What are you planning? Tranthu calmly replied, It's fine, I gave up the flower but got the joy in hand. The intermediate wind attribute potion had appeared, making Trindick spend money like water while also receiving the reward. Tranthu happily thought, this is true joy. Suddenly he remembered his foolish friend selling him out, angrily clenching his fist. Wait, this kid, how dare you spread the rumor that I hit Trin? Diluc laughed nervously, covering his head. I just wanted to help you get more famous, don't hit me. He looked up at the sky, then suddenly widened his eyes. Are you even my brother? If you want to fight, just fight. Why summon a contracted spirit? Tranthu quickly turned around, his voice full of panic. It wasn't me. In the sky, a level 7 Liet DMDU spirit was blazing, flying around violently. The crowd gawked and pointed. If it wasn't you, then who? Me. The shadow monster attacked relentlessly, causing the blazing flame bird to scream in pain. Zhang Dali muttered. It seems the outcome is already clear. Just then, the system in Tranthu's head rang out. New mission. Choose one release. The Golden Sim directly defeat the Shadow Monster. Reward level of Beast Tamer increases by 1. Choose 2. See death and do nothing. Take the opportunity to escape amidst the chaos. Reward level of attack skill of the Golden Sim increases by 1. Choose 3. To defeat the enemy, you must capture the leader. Attack the Master of the Shadow. Monster. Reward gold attribute of the Golden Sim increases by 5%. Tranthu, the system locks onto the enemy's position. Tranthu smirked, patting Dali on the shoulder. With me here, who knows who will win or lose? Dali was still confused when Tranthu pulled out the familiar goat dung bag from behind his back. Dali, come fight with me. Dali's eyes widened. You're really something, you even brought goat dung with you. Tranthu quickly locked onto the target, the master of the Shadow Monster Level 9 Beast Tamer. Thankfully, the system has an automatic target locating function. He whispered, This guy is high-level Level 9 Beast Tamer. The two approached stealthily from behind, and suddenly his Golden Sim jumped up, rolling straight to the feet of that guy. The guy angrily stepped back, roaring, What the hell? Where did this dung come from? Tranthu swiftly charged up, covering the guy's head with the goat dung bag, not giving the opponent time to react. He delivered a vicious kick right between the legs. The two rushed in and beat him up furiously, while also blaming Zheng, the class leader of Class 3 Beast Tamer. We'll beat him until he passes out and then decide what to do next. Dali added from Class 1 of High School Number 3. Brother Wang, with a fight like this, it should be fine, right? The other guy screamed in pain, Stop hitting! Stop hitting! The spirit of the blazing flame bird from Hua Tiu Vu finally defeated him. The brilliant flames dissipated in the air. Tran Thu proudly lifted his chin confidently, saying, "See, I told you with me here who knows who will win or lose." Zhang Dali pouted and muttered. Hua Tilvu saw the two of them stunned and asked, "Is it you guys?" Both pounded their chests with bravado. "Sister Tiovu, don't be polite. We are just removing harm for the people." Tiovu smiled brightly. "So you guys came because of Liu Wu Yi?" Tran Tu curiously asked, eyes sparkling. "Liu Wu Yi, he's the level 9 beast Tamer." At this moment, Liu Wu Yi was trembling in fear being escorted by the police. Tiovu gently said, "I really thank you guys for this capture of Liu Wu Yi." Tran Thu smiled broadly, pretending to be modest. "It's nothing much. Tran Thu here loves to do righteous work the most." Tiovu nodded. "This warm and affectionate gaze I will remember. If you need anything, just tell me any time." Tran Thu mumbled, "Necessary, Sister Tiovu." He suddenly jumped up excitedly, asking, "Can I come to your pharmacy company during the summer break?" "No." Tiovu was speechless, frowning. "Pharmacy company, do you want to be a guard there?" Tran Thu thought to himself, to become an alchemist, one must master complex pharmacological knowledge and go through countless experiments. But the alchemy company can allow me to experiment without checking the medicinal materials. This is the best opportunity. He quickly explained, "No, I want to become a potion master." The next day, Tran Thu happily walked into school. Although senior sister Tiovu refused, she agreed to let him apprentice. Apprenticing is fine. At least it gives me a chance to get in touch with alchemy. As soon as he entered the class, his classmates cheered, "Brother Bai, you're amazing!" People fight with contract spirits while you engage in close combat directly. Opening up a new path to combat, that's right. Brother Bai's reputation even surpasses Sister Tuvu. Everyone is humble, but just the demeanor of UD is enough for us to learn for a lifetime. One person chimed in, eyes bright with excitement. "Brother Bai, do you have any UD left at home? Give me one, I'll hang it on the wall to ward off evil." Tran Tu boasted, waved his hand, and spoke with a proud tone. "Everyone be humble, mainly the opponents know how to coordinate." Suddenly a loud shout came from outside the door. "Get lost, don't block anyone's way." Damn it, that Tran Thu. Have you played games for more than 180 minutes that your brain has been wiped clean, Sister Nam? So angry that she couldn't speak. The more Tran Thu was pleased, the more he raised his eyebrows. "What are you?" Tran Thu approached, slapped Sister Nam's face hard, speaking arrogantly. "If there's nothing going on, then get lost." Sister Nam gritted her teeth. Her face flushed with anger, but could only leave in frustration. Vuongman whispered worriedly beside. "Tran, be careful. Sister Nam is very aggressive when she gets angry. She dares to do anything." Tran Thu snickered, his tone sarcastic. "Are you bragging? If she dares to do anything, tell her to do a set for the exam." Just then, Teacher Lai Nam walked in, his demeanor serious. "Old Lai is here, let's start class." The teacher stood on the podium, his voice loud. "Tomorrow we have a 3-day break. During this time, remember to review your lessons carefully to prepare for the final exam next month." Tran Thu was busy checking Slim's information, Gold Skill 1 Giantification, temporarily increasing size 4 times, attacking wildly damage power, depending on both parties' weight. Note, not to use against enemies over 10 pounds. The Tyrant activates the Tyrant state in a short time, bypassing the control effects of contract spirits. He stroked his chin, pleased. After doing so much, Slim finally has 3 combat skills. No matter how fast I fight, I won't easily lose to anyone anymore. Zum. Teacher Lai's voice suddenly rang out, pulling him back to reality. "To encourage you all, the first place in the exam will receive the Enlightenment Pill. The top 5 will receive a mid-level Beast Tamer certificate, and the top 30 will receive a Beast Tamer Pearl. Everyone must work hard." Tran Thu raised his head, eyes shining brightly. Enlightenment Pill, the legendary medicine that helps contract spirits have a chance to gain new skills. Slim already has 3 skills, adding 1 more would be even more powerful. The school bell rang from the hallway. Habang unexpectedly walked up to his desk, gently asking, "Tran Thu, do you need me to come to your house for tutoring?" Tran Thu was a bit surprised, but then shook his head, smiling brightly. "No need. I have to go for an interview first, then I'll stay home and study hard." Ha Bang lowered her head and replied softly, Yes." Vuongman beside her exclaimed, Wow, Tran Thu, you just refused Ha Bang's invitation like that. Before they could take a few steps, Tran Thu's group was blocked by Trin Nam's group. Tran Thu smirked, her voice ringing out. Isn't this Do Nam? Why is your face even more swollen? Nam's subordinates immediately growled. One pointed and gritted his teeth, shouting, Tran Thu, don't talk too excessively. Just wait a little longer and you'll get what's coming to you. He signaled, his voice fierce. Brothers, come at me. Tran Thu was quick as lightning, stepping in front of Wong Man, her eyes sparkling with a smile, but her movements decisive. Don't be scared, I will protect you. He yelled loudly, his voice booming like a loudspeaker. Help me! Third-year students want to kill someone. In the blink of an eye, a group of security rushed over, surrounding Nam's group tightly. Tran Thu pretended to tremble, holding onto Uncle Vuong tightly, her voice desperate. Uncle Vuong, it's these people who said they want to kill me to commemorate his past youth. Nam gritted her teeth, furious at the other side's shamelessness, but could only exclaim, I didn't. Uncle Vuong, upon hearing this, became enraged, turning to her, his eyes bloodshot. Do you want to kill someone? Nam was surrounded, trying to shout, Than Min, I didn't, it was them. But Tran Thu was quicker, immediately sniffling, tears rolling down like a stream. Uncle Vuong, I'm really scared. That person, Trin Nam, dares to slander us in front of you. Uncle Vuong, his anger rising, pointed directly at Nam. In front of me, you dare to slander others. Nam awkwardly explained, I didn't. Just then, the crowd buzzed. A voice rang out, What's going on? A teacher, Lai, extremely angry, walked over with a strange man. As soon as he saw the students, he frowned, his voice dissatisfied. The boss from afar heard you all making noise. Nam, the exam is coming soon. Why aren't you studying and are here instead? Sir. Nam hurriedly pointed at Tran Thu, trying to salvage, Teacher Lai, that name Tran Thu. But Teacher Lai interrupted immediately, his voice firm. What about Tran Thu? Tran Thu has also been known for chasing criminals, hunting you down. This student is still here causing trouble. Nam's eyes widened, stammering, What? Arresting a wanted criminal, Tran Thu was quietly observing the man next to Teacher Lai. With curious eyes, he asked, Is he from the Tranquil Bureau? Teacher Lai nodded, his voice full of pride. That's right. So the leader of the Tranquil Bureau came here specially to give him a gift. Just causing more trouble for me, why don't you hurry back to studying? Quickly. Sister Nam reluctantly lowered her eyes and mumbled, I know. Teacher Lai waved his hand decisively, ordering, Everyone else go back too. Then he turned to introduce the man beside him. This little friend is Tran Thu. The man spoke up, his voice deep and authoritative. Hello, I am Vuong Kien from the Tran Lin Bureau. I came here specifically to thank you for helping us catch the wanted criminal. Here is a reward of 100,000 from the Tran Lin Bureau. Tran Thu looked at the stack of money, his eyes shining like stars, but he immediately turned his face away, pretending to be generous. No need, serving the people is what I should do. Vuong Kien laughed heartily. Take it. Besides, I also have something I want to ask you. I want to know how you found his location at that time. Tran Thu hesitated for a moment, scratching his cheek. The system had guided him, but how could he say that? He quickly came up with a reason. I saw that person had such an evil look. Just a glance made me know he wasn't a good person. Vuong Kien was taken aback, his eyes showing doubt. Is that all? What if it wasn't him? Tran Thu casually shrugged, his tone calm. That's right, we had covered ourselves, he couldn't see us. Vuong Kien and Teacher Lai exchanged glances, speechless at the strangely simple answer. Teacher Lai frowned, his tone serious. I have no more questions. In any case, we still thank you for saving Hua Tiu Vu, young friend. If there's nothing else, you can go now. Yes? Tran Thu grinned, waving goodbye. All right then, I'll take my leave. Goodbye, teacher and Uncle Vuong. Vuong Kien quietly watched his back, murmuring, What a coincidence, isn't it? A little later, Tran Thu and Trong Dai Luke headed to Hua Tiu Vu's company. He confidently walked in and greeted, I am Tran Thu, a classmate of Hua Tiu Vu. I have an appointment with her for an interview to become an alchemist. Tran Thu, a female alchemist, made Hua Than Tweet. Hua Tiu Vu's older sister frowned, her face clearly showing displeasure. You want to be an alchemist? Tran Thu nodded, patting his chest proudly. Yes, I want to give it a try. Hua Tan Tweet immediately shouted, her voice icy. This is not a place for kids to come and play, go back. Yes. Then she turned to the staff, her tone harsh. Tuvu, what's going on? Bringing anyone to the company just causing more trouble for others. Don't let them in here. The staff quickly responded, yes. Tran Thu was taken aback, awkwardly saying, my interview hasn't started yet. Hua Tan Tweet turned her back and walked away, her attitude decisive as if to end everything. The system reappeared, presenting a shameless task for Tran Thu to choose. One keeps silent, quietly disappointed, and return home receiving the title Died Before Apprenticing, along with the aura effect Loser increasing by 1. 2. Take the opportunity to act kick Hua Tan Tweet in the butt, making her lose her demeanor furious, but will be restrained immediately with a reward of increased beast mastery. 3. Secretly break into the laboratory, find an opportunity to complete the task, receive attack skill reward, increasing by 1 level. Trong Dailuk looked worriedly at Tran Thu, his voice full of confusion. What should we do now? Tran Thu glanced at the surrounding security guards, the corners of his mouth curling up in a mischievous smile. Even though he really wanted to choose the bold kick of option 2, he still decided to rush inside. Zhang Dali, a true best friend, immediately jumped out in front of the guards, provocatively slapping his butt to distract them. Follow me, you idiots! The guards shouted angrily. Chase after you, you rotten brat, stop! Tran Thu stealthily snuck in, glancing at Zhang Dali being pinned down by the guards and tortured. He mumbled, filled with gratitude, Brother, you've worked hard. One guard suddenly realized that Tran Thu had vanished. He nimbly stepped into a nearby room, his eyes lighting up when he saw a robe. Unexpectedly, there was another set of clothes. He casually draped the robe over himself and walked into the laboratory, calmly greeting everyone. Good morning. Good morning, a voice replied. Suddenly, Tran Thu was startled to see the pile of bright flowers on the table. His heart raced. How could there be so many great lotus flowers here? The system unexpectedly displayed that the materials for the strength potion were sufficient. Should he concoct it? Tran Thu's mouth dropped in excitement as he chose to brew it immediately. The great lotus flowers and bottles in the laboratory swirled around him as if he had transformed into a skilled alchemist. In just a moment, he completed a series of bottles accompanied by the sound of bubbling. The system announced that the low-grade strength potion had been successfully crafted with a purity level of 3 out of 1, unlocking the medium-grade strength potion. The surrounding alchemists stared in amazement, exclaiming in unison, Heavens, is that really a strength potion? You managed to brew 13 vials in one go. Tran Thu was equally excited. Long silently thought that this alchemy system is really powerful, basically without failure. If only I have enough medicinal materials. Hua Tan Tweet witnessed the whole scene, stunned, covering her mouth, stammering, you are actually so impressive. Sa. Tran Thu lifted his lips into a mischievous smile. I'm just a kid here to have fun. No need for you to call security, I can leave by myself. Hua Tan Tweet hurriedly spoke up, her tone full of remorse. I'm sorry, just now it was my negligence. I didn't recognize that the genius alchemist is you. She bowed her head sincerely, her eyes shining with hope. If possible, I would like to invite you to become the alchemist of our department. The system suddenly appeared, presenting 3 options. Option 1. Agree to join. Hua Tan Tweet's company, become a professional alchemist, receive the reward to unlock all potion-making books, but the spirit contract will disappear. Option 2. Only work part-time during the summer vacation, steadfastly pursue the path of beast taming. Receive the reward of increasing beast taming strength. Option 3 was not mentioned, but Tran Thu quickly made a decision, his eyes sparkling. Although the first prize was attractive enough to make him a top alchemist in the world in the blink of an eye, he remained steadfast. Sorry, the journey I chose is to wander everywhere, so I can only be here for 2 months during the summer vacation. In the end, both reached a happy agreement, shook hands, and shouted in unison, Happy cooperation! Even though it was just a temporary job, Hua Tan Tweet generously offered Tran Thu many benefits and perks. She also promised that if he reduced material waste during the alchemy process, he would receive additional corresponding potion rewards for 3 consecutive days of the holiday. Tran Thu diligently worked at Alchemy Company 66, immersing himself in potion making every day. 3 days later, Tran Thu hugged a pile of high-grade potion tubes, happily cradling Slim in his arms, his eyes filled with hope. I hope this time I won't be disappointed. He handed Slim a vial of potion, and the creature eagerly gulped it down, then continued to drink the remaining vials without stopping. The sound of gulping echoed continuously. After finishing, Slim was satisfied, exhaled a long breath, and slowly floated up into the air. Tran, too, was stunned. His eyes brightened, shouting loudly, "It's about to evolve!" Slim's whole body glowed with a brilliant golden light. After twisting in the air for a moment, it burped again and fell into Tran Thu's hands. He quickly reached out to catch it and carefully observed the attribute panel. Slim's strength increased permanently by 20%. Although the low-grade strength potion significantly increased Slim's power, Tran Thu knew that to go further, he needed to craft a medium-grade strength potion. Tran Thu frowned and muttered, "In the past few days, the materials from Alchemy Company 666 have almost been completely used up." Fortunately, Hua Tio Vu helped him obtain a pass to the black market. He decided to visit the black market tomorrow. Tran Thu hurriedly slung his backpack and dashed off. The man forgot about his stomach ache, quickly took out his phone to capture his back, muttering, "This is really great. Such a magnificent act must be posted online." The next morning, a series of articles spread about Tran Thu, the astonished high-level alchemist, crafting a light yellow potion in a public restroom. Is this a distortion of humanity or a degradation of morality? Two alchemists crafted restroom potions, drinking them clean in front of witnesses. Artistic behavior or madness? Tran Thu, on his way to school, saw people whispering and pointing, scratching his head in confusion. What's wrong with these people? Why are they staring at me? Could it be that they discovered I'm the son of some tycoon? Just then a snake spirit suddenly zipped past, startling him. What the hell is that? After that, Tran Thu immediately summoned his sim and both charged at the snake spirit, delivering fierce punches and kicks like a storm. He quickly spotted the target ahead. His brows furrowed, voice filled with anger. "Damn it, with no spirit of chivalry, how dare you sneak attack me? This time, let's see how I kill this unchivalrous being." The blonde man, Ngo Li, hid behind a tree wearing a sly smile, secretly pleased that his snake had already evolved into a contracted spirit of common level. This time, let's see where that Tran Thu can run to. Tran Thu quietly approached from behind, suddenly speaking in a cold tone. "Where do you think you're running?" "Of course I'm running toward you." He glared and rushed forward, throwing a punch that knocked Ngo Li down to the base of the tree. The blonde guy stuttered, his face pale. "Is that you, Tran Thu?" Cracking his knuckles with a sharp gaze. "I thought it was someone else. Turns out it's you, the lackey of Sister Nam. You dare to sneak attack your father. Today I will show you what happens when you sneak attack your father." Ngo Li panicked, tears welling up. I don't want to come over, please don't." Tran Thu ignored the pleas and rushed in, punching relentlessly, the sounds booming incessantly. Ngo Li screamed in agony. After a while of scuffling, Tran Thu leisurely sat on top of his opponent, while Lim had also taken down Ngo Li's snake spirit, holding it tightly by the neck. Whispers arose from afar. "It seems like someone is fighting. Let's go check it out." Tran Thu heard it, knowing that the contract spirit battle had drawn the attention of the spirit control department. He stood up coldly, looking at Ngo Li. "This time I'll let you go, but next time, if you dare to do this again, I will definitely make you and your contract spirit die without a grave." Ngo Li trembled as he watched Tran Thu's figure fade away, mumbling, "Oh, I've really changed." Upon returning home, Tran Thu excitedly told his parents about defeating the thug Ngo Li. "That's how it happened. This is the 100,000 reward from the Spirit Control Department. I'm going shopping, and the other 90,000 is on this card." His father smiled gently. "We don't need this money at home for now, since you're cultivating the beast control power. Buy whatever medicine you want, and if it's not enough, just tell me." "Yes," Tran Thu replied excitedly, teasing with a wink. "Don't you need it, Dad?" "I'm not like that, Futu, am I?" His father waved his hand and chuckled. "You don't need to worry anyway, we won't use it at home. It's getting late. You still have school tomorrow, so get some rest." Tran Thu sighed, mumbling, "Yes." Watching his parents chat happily, he sat on the bed. "Our family has always been just ordinary workers. Why does Dad talk as if money is not an issue?" Tran Thu pondered with many doubts. Mr. Lai and Uncle Truong. Both people of status, even called his father too intimately. Could there be a secret behind it? Never mind if there is really something. Sooner or later, Dad will tell me. He stood up, reached for the light switch, mumbling, "I'll just sleep first. I have to go to school tomorrow." The next morning, Tranthu yawned widely, sluggishly walked into class, and before he could gather his thoughts, a group of classmates rushed over, staring at him as if they wanted to pierce through him. Startled, he froze, his heart pounding. What the hell is going on? Why are they looking at me like that? Teacher Lai just then pushed the door open and walked in, his voice cold as ice. Tranthu, come here for a moment. He anxiously replied, Yes, yes. In a corner of the hallway, Teacher Lai looked at him sternly and directly asked, Tranthu, did you go to the black market yesterday? Tranthu broke out in a cold sweat, his heart racing, thinking, could it be that the fight with Ngo Li has been discovered? He stuttered, his voice trembling. Teacher, please let me explain. Teacher Lai pulled out a phone and held it in front of him. Is this you? Tranthu blankly took it, immediately struck by the headline of the article, Shock Mysterious Person Making Drugs in a Public Restroom. The article spread rapidly with 20,000 shares and 21,000 comments. Is this the legendary potion making for the emergency treatment? The art comes from a pretty good life, just a little rotten. Tranthu's eyes widened, heart racing. Damn it, it's really hot now. I just randomly made a type of medicine, but unexpectedly the whole city knows. He forced a smile, handed the phone back to the teacher. It's me. Teacher Lai laughed heartily. I knew it was you. Although it's just a corner of your face, your rebellious nature I can always recognize. Then he seriously advised, however, right now online, everyone is looking for someone in that public restroom. Recently, you need to be a bit careful. Avoid attracting those illegal businessmen. Tranthu nodded vigorously, excitedly replied, I know, yes. Teacher Lai nodded. All right, nothing else. The teacher still has things to do, you can go ahead. He quickly responded, yes. Teacher Lai turned to Ha Bang and Vuong Man, speaking steadily. Where are you two going? Then he continued speaking to the two. This time I called you here to inform you that the school has plans for a few top students in the final exam for grade 12. Particularly Tranthu, who was nearby, perked up to listen, mumbling, grade 12 special. In previous years, this class was only held in the second semester of grade 12. Why is it being held so early this time? Ha Bang and Vuong Man returned to class, their faces clearly showing concern. Tranthu keenly noticed, thinking, could there be something serious going on? The bell rang for the end of school, ding ding ding. Tranthu and Trong Dailuk rode their bikes home. Dailuk laughed loudly. I heard you became famous now. Tranthu laughed heartily. No, it's just an ordinary photo. I had no idea it would be so hot that the whole social media would be chasing after me. Suddenly, Tranthu braked sharply, causing Dailuk to almost fall into the street, yelling, Oh, damn! What the hell are you doing? In front, a girl with a small child was being harassed by two men. One of them said, Miss Vuong, the money you owe us is still unpaid, so don't blame us for being rude to your sister. Dailuk curiously asked, What's going on? Don't you know? Tranthu shook his head, but the system had already displayed a choice task. 1, blindfold and mumble, I can't see anything. Receive a reward for a violent skill book. 2, act heroically, help the girl escape danger, receive a reward for medium-level beast control. 3, join the evil forces, force the girl to pay her debt, receive a disgraceful title, making the spirit contract become evil and ruthless. Tranthu lifted his lips, his eyes sparkling with laughter. I don't know her, but being brave and righteous is my creed. He decisively dropped his bike on the road and rushed forward. Dailuk eagerly followed behind, shouting, Brother, if you have the skill, I'm with you, hero. Seeing them approach, annoyed the kid wanted to do something. Dailuk shouted, Hero, save! Before he could finish his sentence, Tranthu had covered his face tightly, shut his eyes, mumbling, I can't see. The 5 of them froze the space as quiet as a frozen painting. Dailuk gasped, mumbling, Is that all you have to say after pretending to be righteous? Do you still want a hero to save the beauty? The system immediately announced, the skill book on violent meditation has been sent to the space. Tranthu sighed in relief, silently telling herself, finally got it. The child behind the girl looked at him with teary eyes full of gratitude. Tranthu immediately turned to the bespectacled guy, shouting loudly, You stupid, useless fool, only know how to bully women. The 2 guys panicked and ran away. The bespectacled guy angrily shouted, You bastard, what did you say? Stop right there. Tranthu provocatively raised his middle finger, laughing. Guests hurry and chase after me. If you can catch me, I'll give him up. Bursting into laughter, the voice echoed, "Hey, hey, hey!" The two men turned red with anger, their fury flaring up. Bastard. Meanwhile, the two sisters had slipped away, immediately turning the chase into a game of cat and mouse, laughing loudly in the street. The two of them ran past, yelling, "Where did they run off to?" Dailuk threw the branch to the ground, panting, even though he had lost their trail. "Tran B, why do I feel like your narcissism is getting worse?" Tran 2 smirked with satisfaction. "You don't understand anything. Everything I do has a reason." He happily stroked his chin, secretly thinking that while others cry out in despair, they can't make the contract spirit comprehend the skill I just need to rely on the system to easily achieve it. How wonderful. Trantu put his arm around Dailuk's shoulder, smiling brightly. "Let's go. I'm in a good mood today. I'll treat you to a meal." But before they could take a few more steps, a car suddenly stopped right in front of them. Tran 2 and Dailuk immediately became alert, shouting in unison, "Someone come out!" The car window rolled down. Dailuk's father laughed heartily. "Son Xiaobi, get in the car." Dailuk's eyes widened in surprise. "Dad just got in the car." Uncle Trong looked at Tran Thu and asked with a smile, "Xiaobi, I heard you've learned beast-taming class." He nodded and replied briefly, "Yes." Uncle Trong nodded approvingly. "You have ambition." It's a pity that Dailuk doesn't have the talent for beast-taming, otherwise I would also pull him to the Black Steel level. Tran Thu raised an eyebrow, secretly thinking that the Black Steel level is a realm above level 9, hard for ordinary people to reach. Even with the system helping him grow stronger, even when lying still, he was still curious and asked, "Uncle Truong, can you tell me about the other dimension?" Uncle Truong pondered, his expression serious. "Do you want to go, Xiaobi?" Although there are many precious resources inside, the ferocious beasts are also very fierce. Without strong strength and a reliable beast-taming team, I advise you not to take risks. Tran Thu silently thought, even if his strength isn't enough with the support of the system, everything will be different. He smiled with squinted eyes. "I understand, thank you, Uncle." That night at Tran Thu's house, sitting on the bed, he diligently studied knowledge about medicine. Although he had absorbed all the knowledge rewards from the system to go further, he needed a huge amount of medicinal materials that the black market could not provide. He flipped through the book silently, telling himself, "If I have the chance, I must visit the other dimension." Just then the phone rang. Tong Ha Bang sent a message to Tran Thu, nicknamed Tran Thu without shame, excited thinking that Ha Bang was shyly messaging him. Could it be that she intends to confess? He replied right away jokingly, "You like me, right? All right, I'll give you a chance to pursue me." He laughed to himself, thinking that he should say it soon. How could a girl confess? Before he could send the message, Tran Thu saw Ha Bang message again, her tone full of hope. "Can you lend me some money? I'm about to break through to level 6 Beastmaster. I want to buy a mid-grade beast pearl from the black market." His face darkened, muttering, "Huh? I've been typing for so long I thought it was about this." The system immediately popped up, offering 4 choices. Option 1. Boldly declare. What kind of relationship do we have? Why talk about borrowing? Don't be so polite. Just tell me how much you need. Reward. A small amount of Beastmaster power. Option 2. Shake your head and refuse outright. Hey, I have money, but I'm not lending it. I'm just not lending. Reward. Slim yellow size increases by 10%. Option 3. Look up at the sky at a 45-degree angle and sigh. Talking about money really affects feelings. Reward, loss of control potion. Option 4. Pound your chest boldly. This amount of money I'll lend you, but with interest. Reward, geography. Knowledge of high school Beastmaster. Tran Thu raised an eyebrow, eyes gleaming. I have nearly mastered all high school knowledge. Just need more Beastmaster geography, and I'll qualify for 12th grade. Especially, he immediately replied with a smug tone, I'll lend you this amount, but I will charge interest. The next morning, Tran Thu brought the money to Ha Bang along with the Beast Pearl. Here's the money you needed, and the Beast Pearl from before that you lent me. You're all set. Ha Bang beamed, thanking him. Pretending to be innocent smirking, he said, "We're friends, why say thank you? How about you write me a commendation essay and give it to me tomorrow?" He burst into laughter. Okay. Habang looked at his tease-worthy face, trying to hold back her annoyance, nodded. Okay, I'll do it. She turned away, her tone decisive. Nothing else, I'm going back to study. Tran Thu waved, smiling brightly. Okay, you go. Just then, a classmate with a swollen face appeared, startling Tran Thu. That was Cho Teo-min, nicknamed Cho-map, his classmate from the regular class. Cho-map burst into tears, rushing over. Brother Trio Kai and Trin Dick from Class 3 are bullying me. Tran Thu immediately stopped him, frowning and asking, Stop? Aren't they not supposed to touch ordinary people? Did you provoke them? Cho-map lowered his head, mumbling, I accidentally bumped into them. After hearing this, Tran Thu's eyes widened in shock. He rolled on the floor, laughing like crazy. Ha ha ha! Cho Teo-ming, with tears in his eyes, pleaded, Please, I know you're very strong now. Can you help me take out some anger? Tran Thu cheerfully patted his shoulder, his eyes sparkling with humor. Okay, but it will cost more. Cho-map was stunned, mouth agape. Huh. He then explained more clearly, his tone decisive. I want your family's store to sign with me to cooperate together. Cho-map stammered an awkward expression. But my family can't make decisions. Tran Thu put his arm around Cho-map's shoulders, smiling warmly. It's okay, just promote it when the time comes. Now let's talk about how to help you get revenge. He thought for a moment and nodded in agreement. Okay, I'll tell you. Tran Thu suddenly remembered something, his voice full of curiosity. Wait, you said Trin Dick is currently with Trin Nam at the hall participating. He lifted his lips, the mysterious graduation smile was very good. Just right, new enemies, old grudges, solving both at once. At this moment, Trin Nam and Trin Dick were sitting in the front row, the principal's voice still echoed from the stage. I hope you can develop a great plan. Tran Thu arrived at the spot, his eyes lighting up when he saw them. Huh, indeed it is here. He sneakily climbed over the rows of seats and hid behind the two brothers. The two were chatting animatedly, their voices full of excitement. This time I scored 590 points. I can definitely get into the key university of Beast Tamer. It's a pity that my cultural subject isn't very good. Otherwise, I could have been admitted to a famous university. Tran Thu was tying his shoelaces when he suddenly paused upon hearing them mention him. Right, recently that kid Tran Thu hasn't caused you any trouble, has he? Trin Dick angrily bit his nails. No, recently I've been hanging out with those people. He can't do anything to me. He eagerly asked, his voice enthusiastic. Brother, you are a level 6 Beast Tamer. When do you plan to teach that kid a lesson? Sister Nam frowned, her expression serious. That kid is not simple. He was able to seriously injure, no lie. Wait until you gather enough people, we will handle him. Later, Trin Dick was astonished, his eyes wide. What? Brother Ingo is a level 4 Beast Tamer, and he was injured too. Trin Nam had a headache, closing his eyes and sighing. Yeah, maybe he hides his strength. So this time we can only find a Beast Tamer from society. Trin Dick was furious, slamming the chair. Damn it, Tran Thu is really a bastard. He stood up, his voice annoyed. I'm going to the bathroom for a bit. Tran Thu smiled to himself, feeling very excited. Initially thinking he would have to wait a bit longer, he didn't expect the opportunity to come so soon. He immediately followed Trin Dick, unaware that Trin Nam had caught a glimpse. He frowned, thinking to himself, why does this back look a little familiar? In the bathroom, Trin Dick was fumbling to deal with his frustration when a voice suddenly rang out. Going to the bathroom. Tran Thu appeared holding a goat manure bag, smiling brightly. Good afternoon, Mr. Trin. Trin Dick was startled, hurriedly pulling at his shirt, but Tran Thu quickly grabbed him, wanting to run. Yeah, stay here. The bag immediately covered Trin Dick's head. He thrashed around and screamed, Tran Thu, you motherfucker! Tran Thu paid no attention, dragging him along with a mocking tone. What? Good nephew, you have to call your grandma, too. Trin Dick angrily summoned the skeleton spirit. Spirit, cut him! Give me the skull warrior! The white bones appeared with a clatter. Tran Thu snickered. Summoning a contract spirit, huh? Come out, Slim. The giant yellow Slim jumped out, crushing the skeleton in an instant. He turned around sharply, his eyes flashing with danger. This time no one can save you. Tran Thu clenched his fists. Trin Nam, you dare to call the social beast master to deal with me. If I don't deal with you harshly today, you won't know why the flowers are red. He dragged Trin Dish into a restroom, punching and hitting him furiously. Trin Dick could only scream, "Help me!" After finishing, Tran Thu stepped out with a relaxed chest, feeling good. Today the sky is clear. The scenery is indeed beautiful. She hadn't taken a few steps when he was blocked by a group of people. Sister Nam led a group of followers, gritting her teeth, her voice low. "Tran Thu, it's really you," he shouted. "Where's my younger brother?" Tran Thu calmly lied without blinking. "Your brother's sister Ditch. I think I saw him run into the women's restroom." "All right." Sister Nam turned to the group of followers and ordered, "Help me keep an eye on this guy." They nodded. "All right." Sister Nam hurriedly ran towards the women's restroom. At the door, he hesitated, glancing into the restroom, but it was completely empty. Could it be that Sister Ditch really went into the women's restroom? Suddenly, he noticed a bag of urea fertilizer lying conspicuously in the corner, but his younger brother was nowhere to be found. Tran Thu glanced at Sister Nam's followers, a sly smile flashing. The system suddenly presented a choice task, one rush in to fight shouting, "I want to fight 10 people. Reward slim gold strength increases by 5%. Choice 2 use love me muttering, demon knife." Swinging it up without looking, feeling uncomfortable. Reward. Slim gold speed increases by 15%. Choice 3. Shout for help, call for support. Reward infusion medicine. Choice 4. Talk to 5 people, turn enemies into friends. Reward increase 1 level of Beastmaster. Tran Thu stroked his chin, considering. All 3 choices are not bad, but choice 4 suits me best. He excitedly thought that if he could level up the Beastmaster by 1 level, he could enter the special 12th grade. Without hesitation, he immediately pressed choice 4, slung an arm over a follower's shoulder, and began in a deep tone. "Brother, don't be tense. Actually, I and Sister Nam are very close. Don't misunderstand. Just because I'm fierce, we've been friends since childhood." The other guy was confused. "Then why are you bullying his younger brother?" Tran Thu grinned. "Just playing around. Sister Ditch is like my younger brother. We often play like this." The guy frowned suspiciously. "Really?" Tran Thu nodded firmly. "Of course. Think about it. If we had a grudge, I would have slipped away long ago. Why am I still standing here calmly?" He casually slung an arm over each guy, smoothly lying. "I'll tell you, Trin Nam has liked acting since he was a kid. Every year he has to put on a few plays, always getting deeply into character." 5 minutes later, Trin Nam led Trin Dick out, hearing the followers chatting excitedly. "So, that's it, you guys really play interestingly?" Tran Thu laughed loudly, embellishing the tale. "That's right, when we were kids, we played even more viciously. Sister Nam once wore a dress making me play the heartless guy." The crowd laughed uproariously. Sister Nam angrily growled, "Vuongdu, what are you doing?" Vuongdu covered his mouth and chuckled. "We are talking, Sister Nam, you really know how to play." "All right." Another guy chimed in. "I didn't expect you to have this side." Sister Nam snapped, "What do you mean? What are you playing?" The group of younger guys continued to laugh. "Brother Nam, stop acting. Tran Thu has told everything." Sister Nam's face darkened, pushing them away. "Told what? What the hell are you talking about?" One guy rubbed his hands in frustration. "Sister Nam is just acting. Why do you have to scold us?" Tran Thu expressed sympathy smoothly, saying, "A Nam is like that, very easy to get into character." "Everyone, please be understanding. Give way a bit. Sister Nam, don't hold grudges against good brothers." He laughed loudly, saying, "Well, it's getting late. Tonight, you all have the 12th grade graduation ceremony. Disperse." The crowd smiled in response. "Okay, let's keep in touch later." No one noticed Sister Nam's face, which was as dark as a pot bottom. Tran Thu cheerfully waved. "You guys go ahead. Anam hasn't finished his role yet. Let me help him." Sister Nam was furious, putting her younger brother down, roaring at Tran Thu, "Damn it!" Seeing the younger guys had gone some distance, Tran Thu smirked. He immediately turned against her, looking at Sister Nam and saying, "Brother Nam, let's start." Quick as lightning, Tran Thu covered Sister Nam's mouth tightly, making her only mumble, "Uh-huh." The good brothers of Trin Nam turned pale upon hearing the noise, sensing something was wrong. That strange sound not good. Hurry back! They panicked and rushed toward the bathroom, where Tran Thu was passionately punching and kicking. Then the crowd burst in shouting, "Stop it!" Tran Thu turned his head and forced a smile. "Uh-oh, looks like we've been discovered." The younger guys cracked their knuckles, growling, "You little brat dared to fool us. You're good at fighting, aren't you? Today we'll show you what fighting is." Tran Thu raised an eyebrow, waving his hands. Don't. We are all civilized people. If you strike, I will scream." Sister Nam heard about his ability to feign injury and quickly shouted, "Last time this guy yelled, the security ran over immediately." He thought to himself, it's now school dismissal time close to the final exam. If I injure its spirit contract, it won't be able to attend class. Moreover, this kind of revenge is more satisfying than just beating it up. Sister Nam spoke up. "Wait a moment." He threatened Tran Thu. "You are also a Beastmaster if you have guts. Let's duel at the Beastmaster Academy." Part 1. The system immediately displayed a new mission. Option 1. Beg for mercy. Ask Trin Nam for forgiveness. Reward title, Coward. A chance to soften the opponent when being beaten. Option 2. Refuse outright, run away from the bathroom. Reward. Basic Beast Mastery. Option 3. Win in the Spirit Contract Battle. Reward Gold. Sim innate talent. Comprehension rich armor. Tran Thu looked at Trin Nam, a level 6 Beast Master. After the previous choice, I was already level 5. I might not lose to him, but glancing at the younger guys, he felt a bit nervous. All level 5 Beast Masters level 6, whether win or lose, these guys would definitely take the chance to beat me up. Habong, the strongest in the class, might not even be able to take down the whole group. But if that person is chosen... He frowned and replied, "I agree, but I doubt your character. I want to find a witness at the Beastmaster Tavern." Tran Thu managed to invite Hua Tiaoyu to testify. Sister Nam thought to herself she didn't expect this kid to call Hua Tiaoyu, but it seems the only way to deal with him is to defeat him in the match. He politely bowed his head this time, bothering Sister Tiaoyu. Then Tiaoyu worriedly asked, "It's easy to find a witness, but are you sure you can win against Sister Nam?" Tran Thu smiled confidently. "Don't worry, Sister Tiaoyu, I'm very confident." But inside, he wasn't feeling comfortable at all. Even if he wasn't confident, he had to seize the opportunity of the gifted armor being presented to him. If he didn't take it, it would be a waste. Tran Thu stepped forward to face Trin Nam, his voice firm. "Let's begin." Trin Nam immediately summoned the spirit Qingwu eagle, its wings shimmering in deep green. He roared, "Let me see your strength!" The eagle swooped down, its sharp claws clamping down on Slim. Splat! 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 Tran Thu gritted his teeth, thinking, "Not good. Trin Nam's spirit contract belongs to the flight system. Its speed far exceeds Slim. If this continues, I'm definitely going to lose." He narrowed his eyes, thinking he had to find another way. Slim charged up again, but was knocked back by the Qingwu eagle. Splat! 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 Tran Thu pretended to shed tears, shouting loudly, "Stop hitting! I admit defeat!" Trin Nam laughed triumphantly. "It's too late. Qingwu eagle teach this spirit contract a lesson about strength." The eagle screamed, diving down like a bolt of lightning. Tran Thu smirked, a cunning smile flashed. "Here's my chance." Slim the Golden also wore a sly smile. Trin Nam suddenly realized something was off. His eyes widened. "Oh no!" Slim suddenly activated its giant form, its body swelling 4 times larger, crushing the Qingwu eagle to the ground. A series of skills exploded. Giant technique, violent seat transformation. Slim crushed the opponent like a small mountain. Sister Nam gritted her teeth, unable to believe her eyes. "I didn't expect this kid's spirit contract to be so strong with so many skills." He bowed his head in despair. "I lost." Tran Thu smirked, sneering, "Yeah." He happily recalled Slim the Golden. Splat. Splat. He walked over to Hua Tiaoyu, cheerfully saying, "Sister Tiaoyu, let's go." Behind, Trindic hurriedly ran after his brother. "Brother, are you okay?" Trin Nam, his face bruised, spirit dejected, coughed softly. "I'm fine. From now on, I won't be at Jiangnan High School anymore, so don't pick fights with Tran Thu." Trindic gritted his teeth and nodded. "I know I will stay away from him." Once outside the schoolyard, Tran Thu walked with Tiaoyu and she curiously asked, Tranthu is your spirit contract rank F. It feels even stronger than Sister's Fire Flame Bird. He proudly laughed. Of course not. Your spirit contract is the Supreme Invincible Universe SSS level. Just then, Tranthu caught sight of Cho Til-min ahead. Cho Til-ming to Chubby Til-vu still looked bewildered. Supreme Invincible Universe. Why have I never heard of it? Tranthu hurriedly said goodbye. Sister Til-vu, I have to go now. We'll talk later. He quickly ran after Cho Til-min. Til-vu stood still, silently watching, thinking Tranthu is already a level 5 Beastmaster. If during this time he earns a beast, he might enter the special class. Tranthu patted Cho Til-min's shoulder. Til-min, I've avenged you. Now let's go meet your parents to discuss business. Cho Map frowned. Now. That night, Tranthu arrived at the grand villa of Cho Til-min's family. After discussing everything, he said goodbye. Well, see you later. On the way home, he breathed a sigh of relief. Great, since unlocking the high-quality poison in the black market, I've been short on materials for alchemy. Now, partnering with Cho Til-min's family, they agreed to supply materials from the otherworldly space. No more worries about shortages. But he frowned and said, their family doesn't sell medicine, so what should I do with the dozens of bottles of high-quality poison left? An idea flashed Slim. Now leaving the high-quality poison is useless. Maybe I should try selling it in the black market. At the corner of the black market, Tranthu squatted down vigorously advertising, come on, the new release of medium-quality, high-potency medicine is here, genuine, absolutely counterfeit, 10 times everyone passing by, don't miss it. Seeing no one paying attention, he frowned and muttered, such a good medicine, and no one recognizes its value. Suddenly, an old man with a bushy beard approached, laughing. Kid, your scam method is outdated. Do you want to learn a few tricks from me? Tranthu was confused. What? The old man presented a book proudly saying, 998, you'll learn the secrets of black market scams. Tranthu looked at the title on the rare collection of black market scams. He waved his hand, pouting, there's even a book on scamming, and it's a rare edition, too. Just then, a large screen in the black market displayed a flashy advertisement. Only 30 bottles, limited quantity. Tranthu's eyes lit up, murmuring, limited quantity advertising, that's right, I know how to attract customers now. He put on a serious face and shoved money into the old man's hands. Sir, I have a favor to ask you. Moments later, the old man brought a crowd as large as a festival. Little Tran, the people you need are here. Tranthu smirked. Very good. Let's get started. The noise erupted throughout the market. The hired crowd began to act. Stop arguing. All this medicine belongs to me. Anyone who competes with me will get beaten up. Another guy shouted, damn it, do you know the order? I came first. Who dares to compete? They rushed at each other, punching and kicking, creating chaos. Damn it, dare to compete with me and see how I beat you to death. No one feared anyone while Tranthu stood outside watching with satisfaction. Sure enough, when there's a show, there are spectators. He pretended to intervene. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. Don't fight over an 800 yuan. Powerful potion like this. The crowd immediately stirred. What? Is the mid-grade powerful potion really worth 800 yuan or fake? A guy in the hired performance, so deep in injury, crawled to the counter gasping, quick, give me some medium-strength potion. No purchase, no peace. After saying that, he pretended to faint. The crowd became more chaotic. Give me, I want the medium-strength potion. The crowd whispered, watching the chaos in front of Tranthu's stall. One person mumbled, with that kind of fighting, the potion must be really good. See, instantly, everyone rushed over fighting to shout, Boss, give me a jar of medium-strength potion. I want it too, I want it too. Tranthu was excited, signaling to the actors lying on the ground. In the blink of an eye, all the medium-strength potions were sold out. He happily paid the group of performers, thank you, everyone. Let's collaborate again next time. The group left. Tranthu sighed in relief, thinking to himself, now I just need to buy materials to refine the high-strength potion. In the evening in his room, he sat on the bed, waving his hands like a master potion maker, his eyes shining brightly in an instant. A batch of high-strength potions had been completed. Tranthu rubbed his chin proudly, hoping this time Slim wouldn't disappoint him. He called, "Slim the Golden, come here!" Slim jumped excitedly and rushed over. 5 minutes later, it was holding its stomach and satisfied when the system announced, Slim the Golden's strength increased by 20%. Tran-Tu smiled brightly, feeling pleased, boosting the strength, pushing Slim to new heights. Then the final exam would come, and I would triumph. At the final exam venue, Teacher Lai Nam stood on the podium speaking seriously. Today is the day of the final exam. After the cultural subject, you will go to the Beast Taming Hall to compete in beast taming. I hope everyone achieves good results. Now let's start the written exam. The bell rang and the whole class focused on doing their papers. Tran-Tu just finished writing the reward, and the system suddenly presented a selection task. 1. Submit the paper early to show strength. Reward average beast. Taming strength. Option 2. Sit still and wait for the time to end. Reward chaos potion. Option 3. Psychologically affect other candidates. Reward collision skill. Glancing at Teacher Lai's fiery gaze, Tran-Tu swallowed hard. Oh my, this is too hard to choose. He gritted his teeth for the reward. Let's take the risk. He began to write on the exam paper, creating a loud rustling sound, causing the whole class to turn and look at him. The system immediately announced, collision skill reward received. Tran-Tu was stunned. That was fast. The psychology of these candidates is really weak. Teacher Lai approached, his face serious as a statue, tapping on his desk with a sharp gaze. Teacher Lai sternly shouted, Tran-Tu, if you don't know how to do it, sit still, don't flip the paper back and forth. He smiled brightly, casually replied, Okay. Then comfortably leaned back on the table, thinking, Reward received, paper done. Let's sleep a bit. A while later, the bell for the end rang. Tran-Tu stretched and yawned while his classmates anxiously whispered, This time is too hard it must be to filter the elite. Oh, I just hope to pass the cultural subject. Vung Man approached and patted him on the shoulder. This exam is really difficult. I hope I can stay in the top 3. Tran-Tu calmly replied, It's just normal. Inside, he felt pleased. It's just the maximum score anyway. He threw his arm around Vung Man and pulled him outside. The exam is over. Forget it. Soon we'll be doing the beast taming exam over there. At the beast taming house, the line of students was long like a snake. Tran-Tu and Vung Man squeezed in. He murmured, This long line is just a queue. The loudspeaker in the house repeatedly announced, Hua Tu Vu assessed potential A Beast Tamer level 7. Ha Bang assessed potential A Beast Tamer level 6. Half an hour later, it was Vung Man's turn. Vung Man assessed potential D Beast Tamer level 4. He stepped out and patted Tran-Tu on the shoulder. Take care, bro. Don't cry outside. Tran-Tu smiled brightly, being eagerly pushed by him into the door. Just a moment later, the loudspeaker announced, Tran-Tu assessed potential Sea Beast Tamer level 5. Everyone outside stared in disbelief. What? Tran-Tu is level 5 now. He casually stepped out, pretending to be humble. Even though I just moved up from level 1 to level 5, I'm still very weak. The group of classmates was speechless at his humble attitude. Teacher Lee appeared announcing, The final exam has ended. Results will be sent via phone. You may disperse now. Wish you all a happy vacation. Yes. Vung Man excitedly patted Tran-Tu on the shoulder. You did great. No words, just jumped to level 5. Do you want to come to my beast taming school to practice during the vacation? Tran-Tu smiled gently and shook his head. No need, I have things to do. Vung Man curiously asked, Even during vacation, what work do you have? Then Tran-Tu stretched, looked up at the sky, and laughed loudly. Of course it's to do something meaningful. 10 days later, at the 666 Pharmaceutical Company in the laboratory, Tran-Tu was warmly welcomed by a line of female alchemists. Welcome back, Master Tran. He leisurely put on the lab coat, thinking about the beast taming school. Risking life for a few points to level up is not as good as just taking medicine quickly. He immediately got to work. Hua Then Tweet brought over a tray containing 3 great power flowers. Little Tran, these are the last 3 great power flowers of the company. Tran-Tu was startled. What? Is the company about to go bankrupt? Then Tweet helplessly glared at him. You should trust the company a little. There are new forces competing for our great power flower supply. She reassured, Don't worry, the company's exploration team is about to reach the alternate dimension. New great power flowers will be available soon. Before he could respond, the system displayed a task to join the company's beast taming team for an adventure to the alternate dimension. The reward is a skill book for the spirit contract specialty. Option 2 says, why not hurry and sneak away? The reward is for a medium-level beast tamer. Tran Thu didn't hesitate to reply immediately. Miss Hua, I want to go to the alternate dimension. At home, he enthusiastically packed food and necessary items, feeling excited. Finally, I can go to the alternate dimension. He reminisced about Than Tweet's warning, okay, but when you go in there, we can't guarantee your safety, be careful. He rubbed his chin and muttered, thinking Than Tweet would refuse even prepared reasons, but unexpectedly she agreed so easily. Glancing at the pile of stuff under the table, he mumbled, we're leaving tomorrow, what should I bring? Forget it, just bring everything. Since I have no experience in survival outdoors, bringing more is not excessive. Suddenly he tapped his head, oh, I almost forgot the skill book. The system made him pull out the skill book for Slim Vang to absorb. The system announced, Slim Vang has acquired a new skill, Invincible Passive Suppression. Creatures suppressed by Slim cannot actively use skills. Note, ineffective against contracts with spirits higher than a major realm. Tran Thu clenched his fists, eyes shining brightly. Very good, prepared thoroughly, just waiting for the departure day. Suddenly a phone rang repeatedly. Tran Thu opened it to see the exam results notification. Name: Tran Thu Cultural Subject, 396. Beast Mastery, 215. Total score, 6 out of 11. Class rank, 2. Grade rank 20. He nodded. Not bad, just as expected. Before he could finish reading, Teacher Lee called. He pressed accept and Teacher's excited voice came through. Tran Thu, you got into the special 12th grade. Tran Thu laughed nonchalantly. Oldly, calm down. Wasn't this predicted? At this age, you can't even keep your cool over this little thing. Teacher Lee waved his hand through the phone. I previously misjudged you, so I'm just surprised. I really didn't expect you to be a golden nugget. When Tran Thu heard golden nugget, he jumped up yelling, Huh, what nugget? Teacher Lee sternly interrupted. Don't mind the details, I have to inform others too. During the summer break, study hard. The call ended with a beep. He sent it to his entire contact list. Tran Thu grinned quickly, typing a message. My brothers, I got into the special 12th grade. He sent it to his whole contact list and congratulatory messages flooded in. The next morning, Tran Thu set off enthusiastically. Damn, I've made it into the special class, a leap to the sky. Tran Thu wondered if there was a spatial gate in Than Nguyen. Aha, the special class is amazing. To avoid those without enough strength, misunderstanding the otherworldly space. Tran Thu couldn't stop smiling, telling himself, hey, still have to be humble. He glanced at his backpack, thinking, getting into the special class is nothing. Wait until I conquer the otherworldly space, then it will be awesome. He stretched, muttering, it's getting late time to sleep. If I oversleep tomorrow, it's over. With that thought, Tran Thu climbed into bed and fell into a deep sleep. He is Chow Thuk, the head of the Beastmaster team, a 6-on-6 level Black Iron Beastmaster with 1 star and the uncle of Hua Tiu Vu. He waved his hand, arriving at the hotel he had booked, resting tonight to continue the journey tomorrow. Yes, Tran Thu Tiu Vu and Old Dang, another member, replied in unison. Yes. A moment later, the whole group arrived at the hotel. As night fell, they sat in the restaurant. Tran Thu Cho Thuk and Old Dang chose their dishes while Tiu Vu asked to leave early. Uncle Cho wondered, Tiu Vu really isn't eating rice. Tran Thu replied, she said she wants to rest. Uncle nodded. Then let the girl rest. Yes, serve me rabbit stew, steamed fish, and crispy fried locusts. The waitress smiled brightly. Yes, brother. Tran Thu widened her eyes. Is the dish made from wild beasts? Uncle Chow nonchalantly, of course, yes. The Than Nguyen forest is close. The wild beast meat here is cheap, considered a specialty. Tran Thu stroked her chin in admiration. So that's how it is? Suddenly a voice rang out. Oh, isn't that the Beastmaster Chow Thuk, renowned for his fame? A man in colorful clothes walked over. Huang V. Chow Thuk sneered. Huang, has the wild fox you fought last time learned its lesson? Still not convinced, Huang V's underlings clenched their fists angrily. Do you want to die? Huang V coldly pulled the guy's shoulder. Kid, you're back. He pulled a chair and sat down at another table, casually ordering food and sitting down to eat. Uncle Chow raised an eyebrow and smiled. Come eat with us, Ka. Tran Thu was waiting for drama when suddenly the system rang out. New mission, choose one summon. Slim Gold directly with a reward of leveling up Beastmaster Black Iron and an international flight ticket. Black Iron. Option 2. Focus on eating with a reward of the contract spirit's food amount increased by 5%. Option 3. Show Huang V some colors with a reward of Slim Gold's defense power increased by 10%. Tran Thu's eyes lit up, thinking, damn it, straight up to Black Iron. But glancing at the shiny soldiers outside, he swallowed hard and cautiously asked Uncle Chow, if I use the contract spirit to fight them, what would be the consequences? Uncle Chow coughed and spat, don't provoke. Tran Thu is not to be punished. The army will execute it on the spot. Didn't you say you wouldn't cause trouble? 9. Tran Thu sulked, then I won't choose one. Choosing 3 could also cause conflict. The soldiers will jump in, but choosing 2 is unacceptable. He put his hand in his pocket rummaging, and then his eyes lit up. Got it. He stood up and declared, Uncle Chow, I'm going to show them some colors. Uncle Chow panicked and pulled him back. Damn it, don't go. Tran Thu ignored him, confidently slamming his hand on the table. Huang V, I'm here to show you some colors. Huang V shouted loudly, veins popping on his forehead. What do you want, kid? Tran Thu nonchalantly pulled out 4 colored cards for them to see. Which one? This is red, this is yellow, and what is this? Right green? Huang V's group looked confused at his childish act. Huang V was so angry he was about to burst. Kid, are you messing with us? Tran Thu smiled brightly. I really want to show you some colors. One of Huang V's underlings was sweating and pointed at the group of soldiers behind. Huang V clenched his fists, trying to suppress his anger. Don't get angry. Don't get angry. Life is a play. Tran Thu nodded seriously, looking at their expressions. You must recognize the colors correctly. I'll give you these cards. Practice when you're free. No need to thank me. Huang V was so angry his face turned purple, grinding his teeth, almost having a breakdown. Tran Thu grabbed his backpack and turned to Uncle Cho, saying, Let's go. Uncle Cho covered his mouth to laugh, nodding. All right. He curiously asked, Little Tran, aren't you afraid of offending Huang V? Tran Thu shrugged nonchalantly. I'm just teaching them to recognize colors. How could that offend anyone? Uncle Cho warned seriously. Huang V has a terrible temper. Even though this time you meant well, don't provoke him like that again next time. Once we leave Than Nguyen Town, if he causes trouble, it'll be a hassle. Tran Thu nodded, grinning. It's fine, he only knows you, he doesn't know me. Besides, if he dares to do anything, I have a system, it's not clear who will win or lose. The group left the restaurant. Tran Thu looked around and asked, Uncle Cho, is this the entrance to Than Nguyen Town? Uncle Cho confirmed, Yes, tomorrow morning we'll cross the Than Nguyen forest to enter the otherworldly space. Suddenly, Tran Thu noticed a crowd stirring in the mist from afar. A person was selling a mutated green-eyed snake. Here the highest bid wins. The crowd clamored, 100,000, 200,000, 800,000. Tran Thu was astonished. Is a basic level beast really being sold for such a high price? Uncle Cho explained that green-eyed snakes are usually not worth much, but the mutated ones are different. The snake's liver boosts beast taming, and the snake's eyes have a chance to help spirit contracts comprehend keen vision skills. They are bidding high just because of this probability. It's late, let's head back. Hopefully we'll get lucky on this adventure. Tran Thu nodded. Yes. Early in the morning, late at night, the sound of snoring filled the room. Tran Thu was sleeping soundly when he suddenly woke up. What's that sound? He yawned, sat up, and saw the system showing a new mission. Option 1. Go to the Beast Tamer Association alone. Reward unlocks new potion-making guide, defensive boost. Option 2. Continue sleeping. Reward increases slim defense by 5%. Tran Thu rubbed his chin, calculating increasing slim defense by 5% is good, but it's only temporary. The new potion-making guide is the long-term benefit. He jumped up, put on his clothes, and mumbled to choose option 1. All right, then. He quietly left the room, heading straight to the Beast Tamer Association. Tran Thu glanced at Uncle Cho, who was sound asleep, sneaking out. Under the night, he ran swiftly, mumbling, Beast Tamer Association, here I come. When he arrived in front of the association building, Tran Thu looked up in awe. So this is the Beast Tamer Association. He put his hands in his pockets and walked inside. The atmosphere was lively with trading booths, information, otherworldly space maps, beast images, and the mission hall. There's a lot to do here. He curiously wandered around and finally stopped at Mission Hall 4. Before him was a list of missions. Mission name, collect Thanshi, grass difficulty. Normal content, collect at least 5 kilograms of Thanshi grass must be fresh harvested within 10 days. Mission name, capture a mutated green-eyed snake. Difficulty, hard content. Capture 1 live mutated green-eyed snake. Mission name, hunt and kill the Ice Lord. Rabbit extremely dangerous. Difficulty content, an Ice Lord rabbit has appeared in Than Nguyen Forest commanding a group of ice rabbits to disturb the base of Genling Army. Unlimited access hunting mission level 4. Tran Tu is engrossed in watching. When the system suddenly presents a personal mission, choose to accept any normal level mission average reward for beast control. Choose 2 to accept the mission to hunt and kill the Ice Lord. Rabbit reward skill. Giantization. Increase 1 level in the title Kill Lord damage of spirit contract against Lord Beasts increases by 5%. Tranthu's face changed, muttering jokingly. Ah, the Ice Lord Rabbit, although its bloodline is not strong, it's not something a level 5 beast Tamer like me can handle. But he suddenly had a thought. Sim relies on body shape to attack. If giantization increases 1 level, other skills will also be stronger. He called over someone nearby and asked quietly, I want to ask if I don't complete the mission, will there be any penalties? The other person politely replied, hello, to accept the mission you need to pay a deposit. If you fail, the money will be deducted. Tranthu immediately asked, so how much is the deposit for the Ice Lord Rabbit mission? Currently I have about 100,000 yuan. If that's not enough, consider it as using money to buy skills. The person was confused. This mission is announced by the military. No deposit is required, just successfully hunting will receive the reward. Tranthu's eyes lit up excited. Free? Then I accept. Moments later, he held the mission paper. The mission name was Hunt and Kill the Ice Lord Rabbit. Extremely dangerous difficulty. Content. Recently, the Ice Lord Rabbit has appeared in Than Nguyen Forest, commanding a group of ice rabbits to disturb the Genling Army base. 4 missions have no access threshold reward, 50 accumulation points in Huaxia. Difficulty, 1. The whereabouts of the Ice Lord Rabbit are hard to find, no clues available. 2. The strength of the Ice Lord Rabbit is very strong, requiring at least a black steel level beast Tamer. 3. It can command the group of rabbits' risk of being surrounded and eliminated. 4. Hint. The ice rabbit suffers from a severe cleanliness obsession suitable for living in dry environments. Tranthu stroked his chin, pondering, this mission is indeed difficult, requiring both luck and strength. But with his shameless nature, he wasn't worried, stuffing the paper into his pants pocket, thinking to himself, the system only requires acceptance, not completion. Just pretend I don't see it. He yawned widely, tired. It's late time to rest. Tranthu wandered back to the hotel, sneakily slipped into his room, climbed onto the bed, and slept soundly. The next morning, Chow Thuk, carrying a backpack, said decisively, let's go. Today we will enter the otherworldly space in Than Nguyen Forest. Tranthu smiled brightly. Yes. The 4 of them moved to an area covered in thick fog. The military guarded strictly. Each person swiped their card to confirm entry. Tranthu stepped into the foggy area, walking a bit before a dense forest appeared before him. He gasped, is this Than Nguyen Forest? Uncle Chow smiled, yes, let's go. The whole group left the Genling Army base. In the sky, a sharp gaze suddenly appeared from somewhere, closely watching them as they walked. Tranthu jumped at the rustling sound from the tree canopy. He turned around abruptly, horrified, and shouted, damn it! As a shadow rushed down. The other 3 looked at him in panic. Tranthu quickly smiled in a flash, summoned Slim, the golden, flattening it. Slim appeared, immediately activated giantization, becoming huge, crushing the giant snake to the ground. The snake struggled, biting wildly, making hissing sounds. Tranthu breathed a sigh of relief, stepped back, and teasingly stuck out his tongue. Nah, can't reach. He jumped closer to the snake. I'm back. It just stretched out. He jumped to another spot. Can't reach, and then covered it again. I'm back. The other 3 stood frozen, as if glued, watching him provoke the snake. The snake roared angrily, finally rolling over dead on the ground, eyes wide open. Da Chao shook his head, sighed. Oh, it's just a level 5 fake snake. Why endure this? He summoned Black Wolf and gave Black Wolf a meal. The wolf opened its mouth and swallowed the snake whole. Chow turned away. Let's go. Xiao Vu sit on the flamebird to scout ahead. Xiao Vu nodded, yes. She summoned the flamebird and climbed on. Tranthu's eyes lit up. Little Xiaovu, let me carry your backpack. Xiaovu refused. No need. But he quickly snatched the backpack, jumped onto the flamebird's back, smiling brightly. It's okay, I have good news for you. I got into special class 12. Later in college, we will be classmates helping each other is normal. Xiaovu was surprised. You passed the special class. He scratched his head, chuckling. That's right, I didn't even study and still passed. He carelessly continued. Little Huo can fly now. Xiaovu was helpless against his thick-skinned attitude. The two flew up. Uncle Chao shook his head, muttering, Tranthu reacts quickly. Strong spirit contract, good at fighting, just a bit cunning. The four continued their journey. Tranthu looked around and suddenly shouted, There are strength flowers in the distance. 3 strength flowers peeked out from behind the tree canopy on the cliff. Old Dang laughed. Kid, are your eyes seeing miles away? Uncle Chao carefully reminded near medicinal herbs or rare minerals are usually guarded by fierce beasts. Everyone keep your voices down. Old Dang had the spirit contract of your lizard check first. Old Dang pushed his glasses, nodded, and summoned a lizard. The whole group hid behind the bushes, observing the lizard crawling towards the flower cluster. Suddenly, a group of long-clawed rabbits dashed out like lightning surrounding it. The rabbits opened their mouths and exhaled a cold mist, instantly freezing the lizard. Uncle Tro was astonished. Ice bunnies. Without hesitation, he summoned Black Wolf. Black Wolf lunged forward, its sharp claws slashing the rabbits, tearing them to pieces. Hua Tiaovu stared in shock while Tranthu behind was excited. Drooling, is rabbit meat better boiled or spicy grilled? Xiaovu pursed her lips, thinking, I was hoping Tranthu would be scared. What's wrong with my mind? Tranthu jumped down, shouted loudly, Big black dog, don't eat all the rabbits. He pulled out the Yu De Huyen Thuai fertilizer bag and busily picked up the rabbit carcasses to put in. Uncle Cho laughed. Little Tran, the common ice rabbit isn't worth much. Tran was excited. Do you know where can I sell it? I'm keeping it to roast for dinner. After finishing, he tightly tied the bag, feeling proud. Done. He looked up at the giant flower bush on the cliff. Now it's time to pick flowers. He bent down to take the small silver plate from his pocket, climbing up the cliff while asking Slim for support. Uncle Chow nodded. Kid, you're learning about good materials. You even know that picking giant flowers requires silver tools. Tran Shu smugly replied, Of course. I got 396 points in cultural studies, got it. Yes? Uncle Chow raised an eyebrow. 396. Do you think I haven't been to school? It's rare for anyone to score above 380. Tran Shu just smiled carefully, putting the flowers into his backpack, obediently replying, Yes, probably. Seeing him skillfully picking flowers, Uncle Chow was surprised. Such smooth movements, are you already proficient? Tran Shu slung the backpack over his shoulder nonchalantly, saying, I know how to store them temporarily, just put them where I am. Yes, done. Uncle Chow carefully sprayed deodorizer around the area, nodding. Okay, just leave the flowers with me for now. Once finished, he had to head out with Old Dang. Continuing forward, the group walked a bit more. Suddenly, Black Wolf stopped howling a warning. Uncle Chow tensed. Not good, there's a pack of steel-toothed rats ahead. He immediately summoned another spirit Black Feather Hawk, come here. Uncle Chow climbed onto the back of the Black Feather Hawk, shouting, Little Vu, let the firebird fly as high as possible. The two birds soared into the sky, and he reminded, Hold on tight, don't fall. As they flew up, the ground trembled, rumbling. Tran Shu gaped down, Oh my God, rats have become spirits! A pack of brown-gray, steel-toothed rats rushed out, their sharp claws and incisors gleaming, chittering. Those without flying spirits could only scramble to run, screaming, Help me! Dust and smoke filled the air. The cries for help echoed loudly. Hua Tiaovu hesitated and turned to him. Can we help them? Uncle Chow shook his head, helplessly frowning. A guy clung tightly to a tree, panting, Is this the end? But the rats began gnawing at the tree roots, crack, crack. The guy panicked. What? Gnawing on the tree, too? Uncle Chow yelled, Little Vu, get out of here! Tran Shu and Little Vu were sweating, watching the dust cloud below, the sound of the rats gnawing crack, crack, non-stop. The guy in the tree noticed them screaming, Help me! Uncle Chow just shook his head, a look of regret in his eyes. The guy's face turned pale, roaring, If that's the case, I'll die and take you with me. He summoned a snake that charged straight down at the rats. The snake unexpectedly lunged towards the Black Feather Hawk, but Uncle Chow maneuvered the spirit to dodge in time. The ground was devastated, the rats scattered, leaving a pool of red blood. The whole group stared down in shock. Uncle Chow suddenly caught sight of an old rat with sharp, cold eyes gnawing on a pine nut, staring at them. He tensed, steel-toothed rats of the Lord level. Everyone hold on tight. Falling down means certain death. The Lord Ice Rabbit raised its head, its sharp gaze sweeping over the two pigbirds in the sky. The four held their breath, nervously watching. Fortunately, it only squeaked coldly and led the swarm of mice to retreat quickly. Trantu breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, it's gone. Hua Tuvu sadly turned to him. Why didn't we save them earlier, Uncle Chow? He said in a deep voice. You saw it. That person wanted to drag us to die with them. Lomtin has strict laws, a strong law enforcement agency, but the otherworldly space does not. Here, even if you are killed, no one would know. I hope you don't become a bad person, but also don't be a good person at the wrong time or place. Tuvu closed his eyes and softly replied, I understand. Tranthu quietly looked at Uncle Chow, surprised by that profound statement. Uncle Chow ordered, All right, let's leave here. It would be troublesome if they come back. Two birds soared across the evening sky. As night fell, the group stopped to rest. Trantu lit a fire, roasted a rabbit, filling the air with a delicious aroma. Uncle Chow praised Little Tran. Turns out you brought a rabbit to roast, and even prepared spices. It smells great. Tranthu smiled brightly. I brought the spices with me, afraid of getting hungry. The whole group sat around enjoying the meal. Uncle Chow nodded. The taste is not bad. Tonight, we will take turns keeping watch. Little Tran and Old Dang will watch first, and I will keep watch with Tio Vu. Trantu and Tio Vu focused on eating in unison, yes. At midnight, Tranthu and Old Dang were on watch outside, but both had dozed off at some point. From the nearby bushes, red eyes gleamed in the darkness. The next morning, Old Dang packed up the belongings, frowning. Last night, I kept feeling like something was watching us. He asked Uncle Chow, Brother, was there anything unusual last night? Uncle Chow shook his head. Not at all. Old Dang was confused. Must have been an illusion. Uncle Chow frowned. An illusion? Tilvu and Truntu had climbed onto the back of the Liet Hua Diu. Tilvu called out, Uncle Chow, Old Dang, let's set off. Uncle Chow nodded. All right. All four climbed onto the Tin Lin Keuk and soared into the sky. The deeper they went into the Than Nguyen forest, the more fierce beasts appeared. Thanks to Hak Lang, they passed 7 days without encountering danger. During this time, the group caught 3 green-eyed snakes and gathered quite a few medicinal herbs. After 7 days, Uncle Chow encouraged, Today is the last day in the Than Nguyen forest. Everyone lift your spirits. Don't let failure come at the last moment. But all 3 said in unison, Understood. They continued walking. While advancing, Chow suddenly stopped. A fork in the road appeared before him with 2 paths. At the same time, a mission appeared for Tran Thu. Choose one to turn left to challenge the level Black Steel Beast. The reward is a 5% increase in Slim Gold power. A second option, turn right to collect level 2, Thiet Hawk Fruit. The reward is a 10% increase in Slim Gold defense. A third option, go straight to explore the Than Nguyen forest. The reward is just an average level defense. Trantu rubbed his chin in delight. The system is quite meticulous, even specifying what lies ahead. All right, let's make a bet. Old Dang spoke up. Captain, which way should we go now? Uncle Chow hesitated. Tranthu quickly interjected. Uncle Chow, wait a moment while I draw a fortune and then decide. Uncle Chow was suspicious. You know how to tell fortunes? He scratched his head and chuckled. Just a little bit. He pulled out 3 child cards, threw them on the ground, and pointed to the right. The divination said to go to the right. The 3 others fell silent. Uncle Chow helplessly looked at the pile of cards, mumbling, If it's the right, then it's the right anyway. I don't know which side to choose. The group continued on their way. Old Dang kept looking back anxiously. The captain hasn't seen any beasts since earlier. Why does it feel off? Suddenly, a wild boar rushed out from the bushes, its sharp tusks glinting, charging like a tank. Boom, 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 Tranthu shouted. Old Dang, be careful. He summoned the Golden Slim. Squish, squish. Slim jumped, crushing the wild boar instantly. Trantu was pleased. You want a sneak attack in front of me? You're not skilled enough. The boar stopped struggling. Slim was knocked away, bubbling. Suddenly, the boar's tusks turned bright red. Its body surged with strength, stomping down hard. Slim was hit, panicking, shouted, Ugh, ugh! Trantu quickly recalled it. Slim turned back before the boar could charge them. Slim had vanished. Uncle Chow's Black Eagle charged in. He furrowed his brow anxiously. Wild boar mutated blood level, we're in trouble this time. He gritted his teeth and summoned another spirit needing 2 spirit contracts to fight together. Black Wolf suddenly appeared baring its fangs and growling. The Black Eagle had been pierced by the wild boar's tusk through its wings staggering in the air. Black Wolf lunged forward, its fangs glinting with a cold light. With a powerful charge, the wild boar was sent flying, letting out a painful cry. Ugh, ugh! It took a few steps back, still growling. Black Wolf and Black Eagle attacked simultaneously, surrounding the wild boar, continuously biting and tearing. Suddenly, 3 tusks of the boar gathered into a ball of energy gradually forming. Uncle Tro shouted loudly, his voice filled with worry. Not good, it's about to use a skill! Little Eagle quickly used Soul Attack. A beam of dazzling golden light shot straight up into the sky. The wild boar was dazed before it could understand what was happening. Black Wolf clawed, delivering a blow that knocked it to the ground. Uncle Tro sighed in relief, rewarding Black Wolf with a cake, silently thinking, luckily it didn't activate its passive skill, otherwise we would have been in big trouble. He turned and with sparkling eyes asked, why does a mutated beast appear here out of nowhere? There must be some precious herbs or minerals nearby. Just then, Black Eagle, soaring high, discovered a 2nd-level iron core fruit. The group quickly dealt with the wild boar's carcass, carefully packing the iron core fruit. Uncle Chow nodded, patted Tran Thu on the shoulder, smiling brightly. Tran Thu, you really are the lucky star of the team. This time we really are going back with our bags full. Tran Thu puffed out his chest, smirking proudly. I told you I can tell fortunes. Old Dang walked over from afar, speaking up. Old Dang has also finished his task. Captain, I have dealt with the wild boar. We can continue. Uncle Chow nodded firmly. All right, let's set off. The 4 continued their journey, dragging the enormous wild boar's carcass. Old Dang leaned close to Tran Thu, whispering, Little Tran, Old Dang owes you a life. Don't worry. I'm a person of gratitude, and I will definitely repay you. I will definitely repay you. Tran Thu waved his hand and laughed carefreely. No need, no need. It's all small matters. Suddenly, a fierce beast rushed out from the bushes. Black Wolf swiftly sliced the 2 snakes in half before the horrified eyes of Old Dang. Uncle Chow hurriedly reminded, his voice stern. Uncle Chow reminds everyone to stay focused. Pay attention to the surroundings. Absolutely do not get distracted. Old Dang slumped, nodded. Okay, got it. The group walked a bit further and finally found an open area to rest. Uncle Chow ordered, Today we will stop here for the night and tomorrow morning we will head back. The whole group exclaimed as Tran Thu unexpectedly discovered a sparkling beehive nearby. Eyes lighting up with excitement today. We are in for a treat. Little Lang, help me get the beehive down. Black Wolf obediently grabbed the shiny beehive and placed it in his hand. Tran Thu happily lifted the beehive, beaming, Tonight I will make wild boar meat with honey sauce for everyone. At night, after a hearty meal, Old Dang lay beside Tran Thu, whispering, I say, little Tran, you should choose to study at the Imperial Beast University. You will definitely excel more than being a freelance beast master. Tran Thu laughed loudly, shook his head, and replied, Forget it, you are burying the future legendary beast master here. Besides, the cooking skills of Zhang Dadao on my team far exceed yours. Old Dang pondered and nodded. Indeed, being a beast master wouldn't be bad for you. He suddenly asked, By the way, you're 17 this year, right? Tran Thu was surprised. Why is that? Old Dang replied with a smile. She's about the same age as my daughter. Tran Thu's eyes immediately lit up, smirking. You don't mean to introduce your daughter to me, do you? He hurriedly waved his hand. No need, I don't need that. Old Dang pulled out his phone, showing a picture. Why do you act like you're being wronged? I didn't say anything. I just wanted the 2 of you to be friends and interact purely. Tran Thu looked in stunned, then angrily snatched the phone. Old Dang, a person should have a conscience. Are you trying to send me to jail and saying she's the same age as me? Old Dang sweat profusely awkwardly. Isn't she just about 10 years younger? Tran Thu yelled loudly. Is this just a matter of being 10 years younger? This is a crime. Everyone has a responsibility to protect the young. He growled, Uncle, stop this topic right now. Don't mention it again or I'll really get angry. Just then, the system unexpectedly displayed a choice mission. 1 roll to the right 5 meters to dodge the attack. The reward is a 5% increase in spirit contract speed. 2 trust in your Iron Head skill. Use your head to block the attack from the Earthquake Bear. The reward is a 1 level increase in affinity. Without hesitation, Tranthu immediately kicked old Dang aside. A gigantic bear paw stomped down, shaking the ground. The earthquake bear stood tall before him, its overwhelming presence. Tranthu panicked and ran away, shouting, "Help me!" to Black Eagle, who immediately soared into the sky, ready to counterattack. Uncle Cho and Little Vu hurriedly ran out from the tent, anxiously asking, "Are you all okay?" The whole group responded in unison, "It's okay." Just after Tranthu replied, his eyes widened, his jaw nearly dropped to the ground, and his heart raced. That's not right. The earth-shaking bears have accomplices. A herd of earth-shaking bears surged like a tsunami, growling, "Grr, grr, 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 grr." Uncle Cho startled awake, shouting, "Everyone get in combat mode!" Understood, the contracted spirits were immediately summoned. Uncle Cho frowned and muttered, "Clearly we have eliminated the Lord Beast. How can we attract so many earth-shaking bears?" Tranthu broke out in a cold sweat, his voice trembling. "Maybe it's because we ate honey." The aggressive bears surrounded them on all sides, and their group fought hard. Suddenly, a bear roared loudly, leading the herd, banging its paws on the ground. Boom, boom, boom! The ground shook violently, causing Tranthu and Tiuvu to stumble. Tiuvu screamed, "Ah!" Uncle Cho gritted his teeth and growled, "Damn beast!" Hak Lang charged straight in, biting hard on the neck of one bear. Tranthu shouted, "Tiuvu, be careful. The bear over here is about to reach you." Slim quickly jumped in between, blocking the bear's attack. "Ah!" Tranthu shouted, "Crush this beast for me!" The bear grabbed Slim and threw him like a coffin lid. Coughing, Slim struggled, but before he could resist, Hak Lang delivered a powerful kick, bringing the bear down. Tranthu stared at Hak Lang, secretly amazed. Is this the power of the Black Steel Spirit contract? Even injured, it's still so strong. Yes, a moment later, the bodies of the earth-shaking bears lay scattered everywhere. The battle finally came to an end. Tranthu sighed. Thank goodness I didn't choose the mission to eliminate the Ice Lord Rabbit, or the situation would have been worse. He stepped aside, muttering, "I almost peed my pants. I need to take care of this, or next time I face real danger, it will be so embarrassing." So 4 systems suddenly appeared. Dominant Mission Option 1, go to the bathroom next to the grass. Receive the title Nature's Good Friend. The effect makes urine smell stronger near the grass. Option 2, stand on a tree to relieve yourself. Receive the skill reward of the Spirit Contract's body enhancement increased by 1 level. Tranthu raised an eyebrow, shaking his head in dismay. What's wrong with this system? Going to the bathroom feels like picking flowers and catching butterflies. He glanced at the tree next to him. Sighed. Fine, let's go with your whim. He climbed up the majestic branch, comfortably relieving his worries there. He closed his eyes, feeling a wave of refreshment wash over him. The reward was immediately sent. Slim's body enhancement skill increased by 1 level, and the duration was extended. Suddenly, Tranthu's face paled, looking down, his heart raced. Wait, my urine just hit a rabbit's head! He panicked, realizing it was the Ice Lord Rabbit. Without time to think much, Tranthu ran for his life, shouting, "Oh my God, damn it!" He shouted loudly, "Ah, the Lord Ice Rabbit is here!" Uncle Chow and the team saw Tranthu rushing over in a panic. A cracking sound echoed. The large tree was severed in 2 by the sharp claws of the Ice Rabbit. Tranthu, nicknamed Tranthu Desperate, shouted angrily, "Damn it, we really encountered a ghost this time." Bay. Why have we encountered a Lord creature twice already? The team was worried, trembling voice. This Ice Rabbit is at least an A-level spirit contract. Our strongest Black Wolf is only level C. It seems this time is really dangerous. The Ice Rabbit opened its wide mouth, growling menacingly. It looked up at the sky, letting out a terrifying howl. The upper team panicked and shouted, "It's calling for its companions!" He turned around, shouting loudly, "Run away!" Then he quickly reminded, "Absolutely do not let any ice balls hit, otherwise we will surely die." Tranthu quickly replied, "Understood." He looked down and saw a group of pitch-black rabbits, their eyes glaring with hatred, staring at them. The rabbits all opened their mouths, shooting out icy beams. Then Tranthu immediately ordered, "Tiovu, fly a little higher." Duyam bird squawked, soaring up into the sky. Below, the Ice Rabbit whispered orders to its companions, and the whole swarm immediately chased after Tranthu's group. He glanced down, his heart chilled to see they were still closely following icy beams, shooting out like a storm, targeting Duyam Bird and Black Eagle. Other spirit contracts were frozen, 1 by 1. Even the Black Wolf could not escape its fate. The Ice Rabbits simultaneously used their eyes to shoot icy beams, the team screamed in despair. "No, if we keep being chased, we will also be done for." He turned to Tranthu, his eyes panicked. "Tiu-chun, what exactly did you do?" Why do I feel like it's targeting you? Tranthu hesitated to confess, mumbling, I accidentally peed on that rabbit's head. Uncle Chow and the team were left speechless, looking at each other. The team helplessly sighed. You really are quite a talent. He worriedly continued. The ice rabbit is famously known to be clean. Never mind, let's just keep running away. This time it really won't let us go. Duyum Bird and Black Eagle flapped their wings with all their might, feathers flying under the icy rain from the ice rabbits. 10 minutes passed. Tranthu's group was still relentlessly pursued by the vengeful rabbits. Tranthu shouted, his voice hoarse. Tranthu encourages hold on, Tuhua Bird. 30 minutes later, the ice rabbits still did not give up. 2 hours later, although the spirit contracts were exhausted, the leading ice rabbit lord still closely followed Tran's group, its eyes glowing red with killing intent. Seizing the opportunity, Tran quickly said decisively, Uncle Chow, let's turn back and fight! Now only the tired ice rabbit lord remains. He urged, if we don't fight, we'll have no way to escape. Thung Duan quickly created an electric ball, shouting loudly, Space Wall! The black wolf was immediately summoned, charging straight toward the ice rabbit. The two sides faced each other, sharp claws ready to clash. A terrifying energy explosion erupted from the confrontation. Then Black Eagle rushed in, striking 2 precise pecks at the bright red spot on the ice rabbit's back. The enraged beast turned around, glaring with its eyes, launching an icy arrow straight at Black Eagle. Black Wolf darted out to block the arrow, but Thukdon panicked and shouted, It's bad! Black Wolf is about to be frozen. Just then, Slim appeared, its slimy body shimmering. Tranthu smirked provocatively. You think you can succeed with a sneak attack? In your dreams, he commanded decisively. It's in a frozen state, don't retreat. Attack quickly. Black Wolf, despite the pain from the icy strike, roared fiercely along with Black Eagle in a counterattack. The ice rabbit's eyes were bright red, aggressive, and fearless. Tranthu shouted loudly, Fall back! The ice rabbit shot many more icy arrows, but both spirit contracts dodged them. Tranthu immediately ordered, Now's the time, everyone charge in. The 4 spirit contracts charged in for a full assault. The ice rabbit remained defiant, its body covered in a disgusting liquid. Suddenly the ground beneath it cracked open and the beast leaped up, landing to crush Black Wolf. Ice crystals slowly grew from the bushes around. Tranthu hurriedly intervened, his voice urgent, Don't go over there. The temperature around is dropping. On the battlefield, the Ice Lord Rabbit unleashed a massive surge of energy, shooting straight up into the sky like a freezing flame. Old Dang worriedly said, his voice trembling, What should we do? Black Wolf hasn't escaped yet. If we don't rescue it right away, it will die. The Thuongduan was also confused, turning to ask Little Tran, What should we do? Tranthu smiled confidently. Just leave it to me, Slim. With sparkling eyes, signaling readiness to fight, it quickly crawled toward the rampaging ice rabbit. Little Vu anxiously said, his voice trembling, Tranthu letting Slim go over there now is like sending it to its death, right? He smirked and replied decisively, How could it be sending it to its death? Slim immediately leaped, throwing Black Wolf out of the ice rabbit's grip. Tranthu shouted loudly, Little Firebird, catch the flaming bird! Diving down swiftly, it safely grabbed Black Wolf. The ice rabbit gritted its teeth in anger, making strange sounds. Die for me! Tranthu urgently shouted, it's about to unleash a big move. And just then a giant ice flower appeared, launching a series of sharp, icy rays. He ordered quickly, It's using its ultimate move. Take advantage of this moment to strike. The 4 contract spirits all rushed in to attack the ice rabbit relentlessly. Overwhelmed by the group attack, the beast lost its footing, fell to the ground, lying on its back, its eyes still glaring terrifyingly. It's dead. Tranthu sighed in relief, beads of sweat on his forehead. Finally, it's dead. Xiao Yu cheered, jumping for joy. We did it. We really did it. Tranthu, did you see that? He patted her head, smiling gently. It's more than 10 meters away from me. I'm not blind to be this excited. Calm down, calm down, calm down. First, the real group sat with their chins propped up deep in thought. A lord beast is worth at least hundreds of thousands. We should quickly collect the loot and leave the Than Nguyen forest. The whole group responded in unison. 2 birds of the contract quickly flew everyone away. Tranthu smiled secretly, thinking, finally, we're back. I made it back. The real group sighed in relief, finally back. He said emotionally, This time everyone worked hard. After exchanging the items for money, I will transfer it to you all. Xiaotrun, you also have a share. Tranthu waved his hand, smiling comfortably. No need, Uncle Chow, you are being too polite. I've already put the collected herbs into my bag. The money you all can divide among yourselves. The real group patted Tranthu's shoulder. their eyes filled with admiration. "Your movements are really quick. It makes me feel embarrassed." Tran Thu smiled brightly, waving his hand politely. Then the real group said seriously, "Tonight everyone should tidy up a bit here. Tomorrow morning we will return to Namjang City." The whole group responded in unison, "Yes." Time passed quickly. The sky was dark. Tran Thu quietly left, holding the head of the Ice Lord Rabbit, heading straight to the Beast Tamer Association. The receptionist was stunned when she saw the head, shouting in shock. You really are the Ice Lord Rabbit," Tran Thu casually replied while chewing on rabbit meat. "Nonsense. If this isn't the Ice Lord Rabbit, then what is it? Hurry up and complete the mission for me." The receptionist quickly accepted the head, mumbling, "Wait a moment, let me confirm first." A man approached, introducing himself as Ta Sun, a soldier of the Lingzhen army. Tran Thu shook his hand, smiling friendly. "Hello, I am Tran Thu. Brother, want to try some rabbit meat?" Ta Sun politely declined. "No thanks, sir. What you brought is indeed the Ice Lord Rabbit. Please provide your ID. The Huoxia points will automatically be recorded after verifying your identity." Ta Sun exclaimed in surprise. "You're only 17. Tran Thu raised his eyebrows and smiled lightly. "Doesn't it look like it?" Ta Sun shook his head, his eyes full of admiration. "It's not just a little surprising that at 17 you can hunt the Ice Rabbit Lord. I can inform you now 50 points of accumulated Huoxia have been added to your identification. You can go to the government agency to exchange for resources at any time." Tran nodded, smiling comfortably. "Thank you. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave." Ta Sun replied briefly, "Okay." Tran left while Ta Sun stood there, his thoughtful gaze following his back. The next morning, bright sunlight covered the neighborhood. Thung Duan shouted from the car, his voice full of fondness. "Goodbye, little Tran." Tran waved cheerfully, saying goodbye as he got home. He laid out his loot on the bed, carefully calculating that he had harvested Hua Da Li Tit Hat Qua and could also arrange for Kai Tui Qua and mental herbs. Maybe I'll try to brew mental potions or basic defense potions. After that, Tran closed his eyes, focusing on performing a series of alchemy operations. After finishing, he muttered, "Indeed, without system support, the failure rate is really high." So many herbs only produced 9 basic defense potions and 6 mental potions. He had the idea to test the effects, ordering Slim to drink these. Slim eagerly took them, gulping down each bottle of liquid. Its belly swelled, lying on its back on the bed, looking satisfied as it enjoyed the feeling of fullness. Tran looked at Slim, frowning when he saw it lying flat, its belly swollen. The system announced, "Slim's defense increased by 1 intelligence did not increase." He gritted his teeth, trying to suppress his annoyance. Since the system gifted it, it can't be discarded. After some thought, Tran decided, "Well, I'll take this Diluc potion to the black market to sell first." He quickly called, "Hello, Diluc, I'm back. Let's go to the black market together." Diluc responded in surprise. "I didn't expect that after such a long time you went straight to the black market." He was curious. "By the way, Tran B, what are we going to the black market for?" Tran was excited, his eyes shining. "So you can see the gold content of the black market, brothers." When they arrived, he looked around, exclaiming in surprise, "Old Vung didn't come today." He sighed, muttering, "Being a scammer and still lazy really has no future." Diluc curiously smirked and asked, "Tran B, have you reached the point of becoming a scammer?" Tran immediately explained, his voice full of confidence. "This is the real deal. Real potions, do you understand?" He boasted, "Now I will show you my reputation. I don't need to do anything and customers will come." Diluc, upon hearing this, was speechless, raised his middle finger and glared. Both of them began to display several sparkling bottles of medicine on the table. After a moment, 2 young men approached to ask the price. "Hey, brother, how much is this bottle of medicine?" Tran Thu replied succinctly. 80,000 per bottle." The young man became angry after hearing this. "What the hell? Is this bottle made of gold, or is the medicine made from gold?" Tran Thu was taken aback, silently wondering what this meant, feeling that something was off. But the young man with purple hair spoke up. "Give me a bottle." Tran Thu quickly handed over a bottle of medicine, and the young man with purple hair held it with a skeptical look. "Is this medicine guaranteed to be real?" Tran Thu, irritated, retorted, "I run this pharmacy. How could I sell you fake medicine?" The young man with purple hair frowned and said sharply, "I'm asking you, is this real medicine?" Tran Thu gritted his teeth in anger. Are you deliberately provoking me? Do you want to buy it or not? The young man with purple hair leaned close and whispered, If your medicine is real, I will definitely buy it, but what if it's fake? Tran Thu firmly committed, If it's fake, I will drink it myself. Are you satisfied? The young man with purple hair nodded and opened the bottle. You said that if this medicine is fake, you have to drink it. Tran Thu quickly shouted to stop him. Wait, brother, you haven't paid, you can't drink it. Suddenly, a pair of handcuffs glimmered into view. The young man with purple hair threw Tran Thu to the ground, and the brown-haired guy next to him rushed in, pinning Dailuk down and shouting, Don't move! The three young men with purple hair pulled out their badges and coldly declared, Public Security Bureau of Namjiang City, do not resist, or we will kill you. What had to come came. The scene shifted to the cold iron bars of the detention room. Dailuk sat dejectedly on the floor, sighed. Man, you really are my brother. Is this your calling power in the black market? Indeed, extraordinary. Tran Thu helplessly shook his head, exasperated. It's not me. I didn't know the script wasn't like this. He turned to the purple-haired policeman who was now in uniform. Officer, you've got the wrong person. We are all good youths. Last time I even caught a wanted criminal. The purple-haired guy leaned close, shining a flashlight directly at Tran Thu's face. Stop talking nonsense. We have been investigating your fake medicine ring for half a month. He sternly questioned, Tell me who is your accomplice. Behind you here confess, and you will receive leniency. Tran Thu still tried to clarify, his voice full of confusion. Officer, I really am not selling fake medicine. Inside, he was in turmoil. Isn't it? I just returned from another space trip and everything has turned upside down. The purple-haired guy squeezed his hand threateningly, really not seeing the coffin, not shedding tears. He ordered us to bring the victims in for identification. Let's see what you have to say then. Afterwards, Tran Thu and Dailuk were dragged out in front of the crowd. The policeman shouted loudly, Look, is that him? The crowd immediately erupted, pointing and shouting, It's him, it's definitely him! Dailuk's eyes widened, his face pale. An angry person accused, Because of him, our spirit contracts all vomited into the fighters, causing severe stomach pain. Tran Thu was horrified, thinking, Have I really become a fraudster? He wondered, Slim took the medicine like drinking water and is fine. Why is there a problem with mine? He spoke up to explain, I say you all, are you sure that medicine was sold by me to everyone? One person confidently replied, That's right, I bought it from you. Another person raised their phone, opened a picture of the old man Vuong Bot, accusing, These people are in the same group as you, right? He said that the medicine was all real. Tran Thu was stunned, mumbling, Brother Vuong Bot, why didn't I see him when I spoke so early? Turns out he slipped away. He hurried to clarify he is a professional scammer. The two of us really don't know each other, and are not in the same league. Everyone think about it when using my medicine. Has there ever been a problem? But the crowd still looked at him, their gazes sharp like bullets. Tran Thu glanced over and shouted, Uncle Vuong! Vuong Keen walked in through the main door, his eyes surprised. The purple-haired cop quickly called out, Captain! Vuong Kien frowned, his voice calm. Tran Thu, why are you here? What is going on? The purple-haired cop leaned in, whispering to report the situation. Vuong Kien asked sternly, How do you explain this? Tran Thu, with tears in his eyes, voice full of grievance. Uncle Vuong, we are truly wronged. No matter how short on money I am, I cannot sell fake medicine. He insisted. My medicine comes from the 666 Pharmaceutical Company. If you don't believe me, I will call someone from the company to confront you. Hearing this, Vuong Kien and the cop nodded in agreement. Vuong Kien handed his phone to Tran Thu. A message from Uncle Chow appeared. Little Tran, tonight the Beastmaster group will celebrate a bit. Are you coming over for dinner? Tran Thu quickly recounted the situation, his voice anxious. Uncle Chow, I've been caught by the Spirit Regulation Bureau. They said I sold fake medicine. Uncle Chow replied immediately. Seeing you didn't respond to my message, I thought you turned off your phone. I didn't expect you to be caught. Wait a moment, I'll be right there. After reading it, Tran Thu smiled with satisfaction. At the police station, it was already dark. Tran Thu and Dailuk sat dejectedly, their faces gloomy. Uncle Chow finally arrived, teasing, Little Tran, how's the prison food? Tran Thu sulked, glaring at him. Uncle Chow, don't say that. If you keep talking like that sooner or later, I'll regret it in jail. Uncle Chow turned to Vuong Kien, laughing. Brother Vuong, long time no see. Vuong Kien responded warmly. Long time no see. Yes, Vuong Qian curiously asked, is the medicine that Dai Luke sold on the black market from your company? Uncle Chow nodded confidently. It is indeed all from our company. Yes. Vuong Qian breathed a sigh of relief, nodding. So that's the case, then there's no problem. You kids go home! Uncle Chow clapped and laughed heartily. Let's go, little friends. As they reached the entrance of the Zhenling Bureau, Dai Lu lifted both hands high and took a deep breath. Why do I feel so fresh and new? Tran Tu also took a deep breath and laughed loudly. I feel the same way. Uncle Chow interjected teasingly. Are you two going crazy? Tran Tu pretended to be serious, replying, You wouldn't understand. We're not like you, someone who is honest and follows the law, nor are we regulars at the Zhenling Bureau. Uncle Chow laughed and continued to ask, By the way, the Royal Beast Association is holding a party. Are you going there? Tran Tu glanced at the Zhenling Bureau and hesitantly replied, We're not going maybe another day. We'll meet another day. Uncle Chow nodded. All right. Dai Lu looked at Tran Thu with a doubtful expression. Tran B, this really isn't like you. This time you're not going to eat for free. Tran Thu smirked, revealing, I have something important to do. Then he seriously continued, Dai Lu, I want to catch the counterfeit drug dealer. Dai Lu decisively nodded, his eyes brightening. Tran B, I support you. Tran Thu was pleased, patted his friend's shoulder and smiled brightly. You're truly my good brother. But how should we investigate this? Dai Lu lowered his voice, sounding very confident. I have a friend who might be able to help us. He is known as the Clueless Savior, a top detective who can solve anything. Tran Thu raised an eyebrow, curious. So, what is his true identity? Dai Lu whispered a name, Duong Hafi, nicknamed the Butcher of Ta Ko Nam. He urged, Oh, you shouldn't doubt it. What I'm saying is true. Tomorrow morning I will come find you to broaden your horizons. You should also know about the big figures in the upper class of Namjiang City. Tran Thu put his arm around Dai Lu, laughing loudly. All right. The next morning on the way to Duong Hafi's place, Tran Thu kept yawning. Dai Lu complained, I told you to rest well today to meet with a senior expert. What's wrong with you? Is that why you're sleepy? Tran Thu glared at his friend, sounding drowsy. Big brother, it's 6 in the morning. Dai Lu was anxious. We can't delay this. If we're late, he might close up. Tran Thu worriedly said, sounding doubtful. I say, Dai Lu, you're not brainwashed, are you? A butcher can investigate a counterfeit drug dealer. Dai Lu shouted in frustration. Have I ever lied to you? Have you ever heard this saying, if you don't know Ta Ko Nam, normally being a hero is useless? Suddenly, something flew straight at Tran Thu. He quickly grabbed a piece of pig's hoof and shouted, Who dares to sneak attack? A deep voice rang out from behind. I didn't expect my reputation as Ta Ko Nam to be so great that even 2 small figures like you have heard of it. Tran Thu turned around and saw a tall, muscular man wearing a pink apron standing behind the butcher's stall. That was Ta Ko Nam, the mysterious butcher of Namjiang. Tran Thu's eyes widened in surprise. Dai Lu waved his hand and smiled brightly. Brother Ta, it's me, Dai Lu. Ta Ko Nam took out a cigarette, lit it, and exhaled smoke nonchalantly. Oh, it's you, the kid from last time who came to investigate my background. Tran Thu stared in shock, mouth agape. Investigate my background? Dai Lu quickly snatched the pig's trotter from his hand, grinning widely. Tran Thu thought to himself, his eyes sparkling with suspicion. Do I really doubt that I'm not his biological child? Dai Luke, as expected, respectfully presented the pig's trotter to Ta Ko Nam. Here you go, brother. Ta, your pig's trotter. He happily said, I didn't expect you still remember me. Ta Ko Nam calmly replied, exhaling smoke. How could I forget you? That day I still remember what color pants you were wearing. Tran Thu jumped in surprise, muttering, Something's off with these two. Dai Luke laughed loudly, putting his arm around him. Ha ha, don't mind the little details. Then he turned to Ta Ko Nam. Brother Ta, my friend has something he wants your help with. Ta Ko Nam raised an eyebrow, his tone serious. Does your brother also suspect that he's not your biological child? Tran Thu quickly raised his hand in protest, panicking. No, I don't need that. Shit. He quickly explained, No, I want to find someone. Ta Ko Nam nodded. Please tell me a bit about the identity, appearance, height, and how they go to the bathroom. Tran Thu was taken aback, his eyes wide open. Ta Ko Nam raised a meat cleaver, his gaze sharp. Is there a problem? Tran Thu quickly waved his hands. No, there's no problem. He opened his phone, pulled up a photo of Lao Wang Bat, hesitating. However, I only have one photo, is that okay? Ta Ko Nam quoted a price. All right, 50,000, come find me in 3 days. Tran Thu shouted, his face scrunching up in frustration. Forget it. Selling even Lao Wang Ba isn't worth 50,000. Suddenly, the system displayed a notification with 3 options. Option 1, accept Ta Ko Nam's help and receive a large quantity of beast-controlling power reward. Option 2, find someone else to help receive high-quality Dailuk medicine. Option 3, solve it yourself, receive medium-quality beast-controlling seeds. Seeing Tran Thu in a daze, Dailuk shouted, Tran B! He came to his senses, changed his attitude, and smiled brightly. 50,000 is absolutely no problem deal. Dailuk and Ta Ko Nam were both stunned. Dailuk wide-eyed. Brother, you turned around too quickly. Both shook hands to finalize agreeing to meet 3 days later, one hand exchanging money, the other receiving information. Just then a customer came to buy meat. Ta Ko Nam changed his tone loudly. How much do you want per pound, right? Tran Thu pulled Dailuk to the corner and whispered anxiously, I'm saying, Dailuk, can we really trust him? Tran Ling Ku couldn't even solve it. How could a pork seller like him be reliable? Dailuk confidently replied, trustworthy, he's just working seasonally. Yet Tran Thu still had doubts, muttering as he walked, All right, either way, we have to give it a try. If it doesn't work out, consider it a loss of 50,000 to buy a large quantity of beast control power. He turned to Dailuk, his voice firm. All right then, you come with me to the Beast Control Association. In his heart, he sighed. Lost 50,000, I have to find a way to make up for it. Let's see if the association has any orders. Dailuk nodded. Let's go. On the way, Dailuk excitedly said, Right, Tranbi, in August, I want to go to Kyo City to participate in the Lin Chao Kyo University entrance exam. Tran Thu raised an eyebrow in surprise. What do you mean by university entrance exam? Dailuk shyly explained, It means participating in the enrollment. First, it means taking the university entrance exam first. Tran Thu was puzzled and was about to ask more when a girl rushed over shouting loudly, Catch the thief! Catch the thief! The robber ran wildly, yelling at the pedestrians. Get out of my way! Tran Thu witnessed this, mouth agape, eyes wide. The system suddenly displayed a notification. Option 1, act decisively, catch the thief, receive a large quantity of beast control power as a reward. Option 2, let bystanders pretend not to see, receive disguise drugs. Option 3, shout loudly, go for it, while urging bystanders to clear the way. Receive the title of crime cheerleader effect. Increasing the speed of evil spirit contracts by 20%, reducing the speed of good by 20%. Option 4, run alongside the robber, keep pace. Receive new illustrated books and speed boost drugs. Tran Thu snorted without hesitation, chased after the robber, shouting loudly, Stop! Raising his hand, the robber turned his head and cursed, If you keep following me, I'll kill you. But Tran Thu just raised his middle finger, smirking provocatively. The robber felt aggrieved tears welling up. Damn it! How unlucky I ran into a guy who isn't afraid of death. He gritted his teeth angrily, looking at Tran Thu before throwing the bag away. Take it back! Don't chase me anymore. Tran Thu ignored the bag and continued to chase. Dailuk also rushed over, laughing loudly. I'm joining in too! The woman who was robbed picked up the bag and shouted, You guys don't need to chase anymore. The bag is here now. But now the robber was trapped between Tran Thu and Dailuk with no way to escape. Dailuk grinned widely, his eyes sparkling. Do you want to torture him? 10 minutes later, the 3 of them were still running wildly down the street. The robber, exhausted, pleaded, 2 brothers, I know I was wrong. Please stop chasing. He cried bitterly, Grandpa, oh Grandpa, please let me go. I really can't take it anymore. If I keep running, I'll cough up blood. Please let me go. Tran Thu remained calm, his eyes fixed on the system, thinking, why hasn't the reward been given? This thief has lost all courage, and yet the system still won't give the reward. Suddenly, he threw an arm around the robber's shoulders, smiling brightly casually. As long as you don't die from running, just keep running until you drop. Passers-by watching the scene mistakenly thought the three were in a running competition praising, chasing the sun. How full of energy today's youth is truly admirable. And one person even cheered, "That's right, not like my lazy child at home still sleeping. Go for it, go for it." Half an hour later, the robber ran until his face was as haggard as a skeleton. Tran Tu and Dai Luk were also drenched in sweat, breathing heavily. Finally, the system announced the unlocking of the new illustrated book. Tran Tu joyfully exclaimed, "Finally, it's here!" Both of them let go of the robber, who fell to the ground, crying out, "I said, didn't I just steal one bag?" "Do you really have to treat me like this?" Tran Tu said sternly, cracking his knuckles, his gaze threatening. "Less talk. Do you see anything behind me?" The robber trembled and replied, "Tran Lin Nam Jiang City Police." Tran Tu smirked. "Very good now. Go over there and confess, or else—" The robber panicked and quickly nodded. "I will go right away." He staggered straight into the police station. Tran Tu asked, "By the way, what's your name?" The robber replied, "Li Hua." Tran Tu stood there, chest puffed with pride, feeling like the red scarf around her neck was brighter than ever. He turned to Dai Luk and asked, "Right, didn't you say earlier you wanted to take the college entrance exam early? If you go, does that mean I stay here by myself?" Dai Luk laughed loudly, almost like that. "Don't worry, I will wait for you in the capital city." Tran Tu nodded, patted his friend's shoulder. "All right, then. I wish you success." Then both of them headed straight to the Beast Tamer Association. Dai Luk curiously asked Tran B, "What exactly are we going to the Beast Tamer Association for?" In front of them, the announcement board displayed a new task, preliminary task tutoring for students about to enter high school. Difficulty none. Content. My son is about to become a high school student, hoping a college student in beast taming or a graduate will come to tutor. Dai Luk requested, college student in beast taming or graduated. Tran Tu touched the screen, eyes shining, declaring, "Earn money, accumulate points." Dai Luk stared blankly, frowning, and asked, "Earn money? We're still students. What money can we earn?" "Accumulated points." Tran Tu smirked confidently, replying, "Of course we can look at this. Don't we have it already?" In front of them, the announcement board displayed a new task. Task name, investigate the drug dealer, difficulty none. Content. Recently, a drug dealer has appeared in the black market, causing damage of tens of millions. Hope to catch him quickly and bring him to justice. Note. Task published by Tranlin Bureau, no deposit required. Reward, 100,000 huaxia. Difficulty. The drug dealer has been on the run for days, very hard to find whereabouts. Hint, a photo of the accomplice Chiber. The drug dealer has not left Namjiang City yet. At the gate of the Beast Tamer Association, Tran Tu said, "In a bit, I want to make a trip to the Namjiang City Beast Resource Bureau. What do you think?" Dai Luk shook his head, sighed. "I can't go this afternoon. I have to go to Lin Chao to practice. I probably won't be able to go." Tran Tu nodded silently, connecting the information. In this Beast Tamer world, although beast tamers are primary, there are also supporting professions like spirit masters, herbalists, or medicine that support spirit contracts. He smiled, thinking to himself that he never expected Dai Luk would later want to be a nanny for spirit contracts, using fierce beasts to prepare meals. "All right." He patted your shoulder, smiled brightly. "So you better prepare well for the exam and later cook for my Slim." Dai Luk nodded and laughed loudly. "Okay, I'm heading back." He turned and left. Tran Tu stood there watching your figure, then turned and walked away. An hour later, Tran Tu arrived at the Royal Beast Resource Bureau, exclaiming in astonishment, "I didn't expect this place to be so shabby." Looking inside, he wondered why there was an old man here. He approached the reception desk and spoke up. "Hello, I came to use my huaxia accumulation points." The receptionist took his ID, surprised, a high school student. Then she handed him a notebook. "Hello, you can exchange. Here is the exchange list." Tran Tu flipped through it, thinking to himself, the items here are indeed abundant, but there are restrictions. I'm just a trainee beastmaster. I can't exchange for resources of black steel level or above. Still, these items are enough to use. Tran Tu pondered while calculating, his eyes sharp. Medicinal materials in other spaces are becoming increasingly scarce. Many places are starting to run out. I should exchange for some better medicinal materials. He approached the counter and spoke clearly. "Hello, I want 5 level 1 giant flower fruits and 7 level 1 steel core fruits." The receptionist nodded. The old man sitting nearby watched Tran Thu leave, murmuring, "Interesting." Stepping outside, Tran Thu thought to himself, feeling excited. Today is indeed a great victory. Not only did I receive a mission, but I also exchanged for a pile of medicinal materials to happily practice alchemy. Then he suddenly noticed the noisy crowd ahead, his eyes brightening. There's something fun to watch. As he got closer, he was startled to see a stylish girl with purple hair named Myle yelling, "If you didn't steal, why is there money missing from my wallet? Why is your phone broken?" Tran Thu looked at the girl crying loudly and immediately recognized, "Oh, isn't this Nu? He interrupted, calling out, Nu! The girl stopped crying and responded, "Brother Tran." Myle turned and spoke coldly, "Are you family?" Nu tearfully explained, her eyes red. "When I was playing here, I found this lady's wallet. Mom said if you find someone else's wallet, you have to return it to the owner, so you just wait here." The little girl sniffed. "In the end, this sister came back and said I took her money and even broke her phone." Nu looked up at Tran Thu. "Did I do something wrong? How do you think we should handle this? Go to the police station or solve it ourselves?" Tran Thu's father gently patted Nu's head to comfort her. "It's okay, I'm here." He frowned, looking at the beautiful girl with annoyance. "How do you want to resolve this?" The system suddenly displayed a choice notification. One, compensate for the lost money to the other party, receive the title, "Money is like trash, collision effect." 2, ignore the other party, leave with Nu receive mid-grade ice welding medicine. 3, argue with reason, apply special measures when necessary to make the other party apologize, receive a large number of beast control power. The 2 beautiful girls threatened, "Compensate me double the amount lost, and you also have to replace the phone and wallet. If not, I will call the police." Tran Thu smirked. "You must be dreaming." He analyzed sharply. "You said there were 10,000 yuan and a phone in the bag, but there is nothing in the bag. Of course it's not your bag." "What am I supposed to compensate?" Myle stayed silent, her face flushed with anger, unable to speak. Tran Thu snatched the handbag from her hand, shouting, "Give it here!" Myle still arrogantly argued back, "Nonsense, the bag isn't mine. Could it be yours?" He remained calm, his gaze icy. "Now the contents of the bag don't match what you said. How will you prove that?" Myle reached out to grab it back cowardly. "Give it back to me." Ga. Then she continued, "Inside is my ID card, which has the name Hack Myle on it. You can take it out and look." After that, Tran Thu immediately rummaged through the bag and found an ID card stating Hack Mai La Female City S Province, Swang Si City, Thangkong. He compared the photo on the ID to the person in front of him, frowning in suspicion. "Did your sister really say that? Is this really not your mother's ID?" Myle shouted in anger. "Look at the name." Tran Thu shrugged indifferently. "What can a name prove? You could be named Hack Myle, and I could also be named Hack Miley. This can't prove anything." Myle's eyes glistened with tears, red like she was about to cry. "Don't bully women like this." "What kind of man are you to bully women?" Tran Thu scoffed in rebuttal. "You're an adult, yet you scam money from children. Why not admit you're an adult?" The crowd around nodded in agreement. "That's right." Myle was frustrated, her voice trembling. "What do you really want?" Tran Thu replied decisively. "I'm sorry." Nu whispered reluctantly, "I'm sorry." Tran Thu shook his head teasingly. "Too quiet, I can't hear." Myle shouted loudly, her face flushed. "I'm sorry." Tran Thu nodded. "That's acceptable." He turned to Nu and gently asked, "Will you forgive him?" "Yi." The girl nodded, her voice timid. "I forgive." The system immediately announced, "You have received a large amount of beast mastery power." Tran Thu threw the handbag down, saying, "That's right. One should be a bit kinder." A moment later, at a street corner, Tran Thu held Nu's hand as they walked out of the elevator. The girl shyly asked, "Brother Tran Thu, did I do something wrong today? Shouldn't I have picked up something that was lost?" He patted the girl's head comfortingly. "No, you didn't do anything wrong. Picking up lost items is right. It was that sister who did wrong. It's late. Let's go home." Nu beamed, waved her hand, her voice clear. "Goodbye, Brother Tran Thu." The girl quickly left. Tran Thu watched her leave, thinking that even though that girl had intentionally framed Nu to scam money, thankfully, he had shown up in time. Otherwise, she might be scared in the future and not dare to help others anymore. He turned and walked away with a light smile. Back in his room, Tran Thu hung a "Do Not Disturb" sign on the door and excitedly declared, "Next, I will diligently practice alchemy." He immediately opened the alchemy space and got to work. The next afternoon, Tran Thu sighed in relief. After 2 days of practice, he finally finished. The notification system rang out bodybuilding +2 defense, power +2. He nodded, satisfied with this speed. I will eventually be strong enough to fight the Black Steel Beastmaster. The next morning, Tran Thu stretched, had a hearty meal, and then took a nap. The next morning, he walked down the street whistling, full of hope about what news Taco Nam would bring today. Hopefully it's good news. Suddenly, a loud call made him turn around in surprise. Tran Thu looked at the girl in front of him, surprised, and exclaimed, "Ha Bang, why are you here?" Ha Bang smiled lightly and replied, "I was just about to pay you today. Since you're here, I'll pay you now." "All right." Tran Thu waved his hand, relaxed. "No need to rush. I'm not short on money either." He raised his phone and asked, "By the way, bank transfer or cash?" Seeing his nonchalant demeanor, Ha Bang was speechless, recalculating, "Let's do a bank transfer. At that time, I borrowed 200,000 from you, calculated at the bank's interest rate." Tran Thu hurriedly interrupted, "No need to calculate interest." Ha Bang was surprised, wide-eyed. "You don't need interest." "Tran Thu, are you feeling okay?" He smiled brightly. "I just want to help you." Ha Bang glared at him, feeling something was off. At the dormitory, after some conversation, Tran Thu concluded, "That's how it is." He revealed in a serious tone, "Based on my judgment, it seems that old Vung is not the master of Mu. The master of Mu is someone else. I'm worried there might be a high-level beastmaster, and I can't handle it alone, so I wanted to ask for your help." Ha Bang nodded, smiling. "All right, consider it a pleasure to help." Just then, both saw Taco Nam calling out, "Taco Nam." He pulled out a pair of glasses from his apron pocket and put them on with a professional look. "You're here? Have you brought the money?" Tran Thu replied immediately, "Of course I brought it. Where's my stuff?" He demanded, voice firm. "I want to check the goods first." Taco Nam took out 2 photos from his apron pocket and presented them to the two. Ha Bang frowned, mocked. "In broad daylight, are you still acting in a Hong Kong movie?" She and Tran Thu carefully observed the photo of a mysterious man, his face blurred. Taco Nam said in a deep voice, "Through investigation, I confirm this person is hiding at this abandoned construction site, but I must remind you, there are many beast tamers there. It's extremely dangerous." Tran Thu rested his chin on his hand, pondering. "Even though I suspected there were beast tamers, if we really encounter them..." He turned to Ha Bang, his eyes sparkling. "Are you brave enough to go?" Ha Bang smirked and replied decisively, "What is there to be afraid of?" Tran Thu was excited, slapping his hand on the table. "Then let's go for the good of the people. We have nothing to fear." After both left, Taco Nam secretly made a phone call. "Hello, Tran Thu has arrived at the abandoned construction site." Not long after, Tran Thu and Ha Bang appeared at the site. He compared the photo and whispered, "Perhaps it's here." Suddenly, the sound of hurried footsteps echoed from inside. Tran Thu pulled Ha Bang to hide in the bushes, softly saying, "Ha Bang, we need to hide." A man stepped out, the one from the photo. Tran Thu called softly, "Old Wang." Ha Bang hesitated, whispering, "What will Tran B do? Will he catch him?" Tran Thu signaled for silence. "You should stay quiet and wait. Now is the time for professionals to take action." He pulled out a familiar sack from his bag. Ha Bang was startled. "Huh, why does this sack look familiar?" Tran Thu stealthily approached Old Wang. The guy mumbled, "Running in a hurry, damn it. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have taken that little money." Suddenly he wondered, why is it suddenly getting dark? In the blink of an eye, Tran Thu had covered Old Wang's head with the sack. The guy struggled, shouting, "Let me go!" Tran Thu laughed cheerfully, getting ready, and kicked Old Wang squarely in the head. The guy fell to the ground. Tran Thu grabbed his pant legs and pulled him out, accidentally pulling off his shirt, revealing a skinny body. Ha Bang covered his face, blushing, murmuring, "Ah, Tran Thu, you don't have to be that perverted, do you?" Tran Thu looked confused, shouting in panic, "Damn it, what's wrong with your thinking?" "He's a man," Ha Bang replied shyly. "That's right, the problem is that he is a man." Tran Thu, while taking off Old Wang's shirt, explained, "Sister, I just want to disguise, to blend in and see the situation." "You were thinking something else." Ha Bang realized, embarrassed. I get it now. You didn't do anything. I didn't think of anything either." Tran Thu put on Old Wang's clothes, donned a disguise hat, and after finishing up instructed, "All right, I'll go in first. You wait for my signal before acting." Ha Bang frowned curiously. "What is the signal?" Tran Thu replied as he left jokingly, "Hallelujah." The scene shifted to the lair of the scam gang. A man with a thick beard under his chin named An Van spoke up. "Old Wang is back. Just in time for everyone to discuss the next plan you can listen in to." Tong Map Tran Thu, disguised as Old Wang, quietly hummed and blended into the crowd. Tong Map, a big and fat guy, said to An Van, "This time we have stirred up the Ling Zhen Bureau. This won't be easy." An Van gritted his teeth, his eyes blazing with anger. "For just a few 100,000. Xiao Tu interjected. "That's right, 1,000,000 is enough for us to take risks how many times? Moreover, now that there is no team leader, we also cannot enter another space." Later, Tran Thu stepped forward secretly thinking that these guys used to be part of the Beastmaster team and have turned to scamming after losing their leader. Ainvan declared that we cannot go outside the city, now we should hide in Hungchan for a while. The bald guy stood up and asked, "Then what should we do with him?" Ainvan coldly suggested, "How about we bury him?" Tran Thu felt a chill down his spine upon hearing this, frozen in place. "No way did I just infiltrate and already fall into a trap to be killed." The four systems are now announcing options. One shouted loudly, "Big brother, don't kill me," accepting a small amount of Beastmaster power. Option 2, in a low voice, "Do you want to kill me? You can try." Facing the storm, gain a 3% increase in strength. Option 3, pretend to be scared to win over the criminal. Gain the skill Violent Sitting Attack. One more. Tran Thu secretly calculated the third best reward, panicking and shouting, "Wait, you can't kill me!" Tong Map approached with his accomplices, his voice cold. "See, you scared him so much he changed his tone." He raised his fist, looking at Tran Thu. "Old Wang, a person living in this world must have value. You tell us not to kill you, what's the reason?" Tran Thu stammered, his eyes darting. Because killing is impolite." Tong Map sneered. "Look, he's so scared he's stammering." Under the cold gaze, he pointed at Tiu Tiu, speaking slowly. "Tiu Tiu, let him see your dark side." Tran Thu panicked, stumbling as he ran, shouting, "Help me!" Tiu Tiu frowned his gaze, mocking, "Want to run?" Tran Thu ran with his head down, sweating profusely, but suddenly a giant black armored insect appeared right in front of him. Tiu Tiu slowly spoke, his tone cold. "Why must it be like this? Isn't it better to obediently accept death?" The red eyes of the black armored insect locked onto Tran Thu, accompanied by a system announcement, "Reward received Violent Sitting Attack +1 damage dealing skill +1.